Manx Radio Motorsport, brought to you by Kawasaki Insurance.
Fastamai, good evening. Welcome to Manx Radio Motorsport coverage of the second day, the evening session of the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Road Races at the 4.25 mile long Motor Isle Billown Course in the south of the Isle of Man. Qualifying is done, practice is done, betting in is done. It is now time to go racing. And the schedule this evening, roads are now closed as the two course inspection cars make their way up onto the start area. Race 1, the MSPR singles race, 6 laps due away at 6:20. Race 2, the Foraging Vintners 1100cc classic race, 7 laps due away at 7 o'clock. Then race 3 is the Jeff Duke Junior Superbike race, 7 laps due away at 7:40. And race 4 is the MC Locksmith Sidecar race 1, over 4 laps due away at 8:20. Well, we're speaking in the interval with the clerk of the course, and he said the latest information he had was that the rain that was forecast was due to arrive. You couldn't make it up, could you? Bang on 6 o'clock when the roads closed. And that's exactly, I'm afraid, what has happened. The latest then from the Ronaldsway Met Office, cloudy with outbreaks of rain, these turning persistent and heavy at times this evening. Fresh to strong southwest winds and a minimum temperature of 9 Celsius. That rain will clear away overnight, with tomorrow seeing a mixture of sunny intervals and scattered showers, still feeling quite breezy though in the fresh to strong west wind, and a best temperature of around 14 Celsius. And looking ahead to Monday and the start of the TT, dry at first on Monday, but showers or longer spells of rain will develop throughout the day. Fresh to strong west or southwest winds and a top temperature again of only 14 Celsius. So with that in mind, we have been informed by the clerk of the course they will be doing a course inspection in between the races because if they start getting standing water on the course, that of course is an entirely different scenario to what we had last night. That did happen right towards the end with the sidecars, who were coming down almost in a cloud of spray before the checkered flag went out a little bit early. Train just heading past us here now from Port Erin to stop at Castletown on its way to Douglas. Let's bring you then the news of the first race, and it's pages 40 and 41 in your race programme, your race guide. Please do support the Southern 100 Club by purchasing a copy of that programme. £7 will all be very useful for the club to continue putting on the friendly races. So race 1, the MSPR Singles Classic race. Now this is 2 races within one. We do have the 250s there on the green plates, and we have the 350 bikes there on blue plates. 6 laps, 25.5 miles in length, and we'll give you the non-starters first of all, and a non-starter has been listed with us as number 5. That's Paul Cassidy, the Castletown rider. There are additional entries. And I can tell you that one of those, Robert Noyle, number 66, is competing in this. But Russell Robury, I don't think we have in there, number 47. So he's not made it through. So that's the additional entries. The grid and how they're going to line up here. On pole will be number 21, Will Loader. He's in the 350s. Then we have number 17, Andrew Guy. Also a 350 machine. And completing the front row is Barry Davidson, who is the leading 250. So pole in effect in the 250 race. Second row is number 72, Shelley Pike on a 350. Number 10 in the middle, Andy Hunt on a 250. And number 22, Rod Graham on a 350. Then we have the third row, and it's the newcomer Robert Coley on a 350, number 99. Number 69, Gary Abbott on a 350. And number 73, Joris Vastenackels, and he is on a 250. Then row 4 is Terence Sansom. He's on a 250. Number 4, Mike Hose on the 4th row on a 350. And number 63, Angela Cragg on a 250. Row 5 is number 20, Gary Hutton on a 250. Number 70, Jeff Bates on a 250. And that additional entry, number 66, Robert Noyle. He's on a 350. Row 6 is number 57, Ewan Hamilton on a 250. Number 80, Danny Pullen on a 350. And number 76, Roy Phipps on a 250. And all 250s on the 7th and last row. Number 71, Richard Boole. Number 49, Martin Tranter. And also number 15, and that is Bob Doughty. So the quickest time, and this isn't really going to bear any resemblance to what we probably will see here. It's going to be more like the practice times that we saw last night as the rain is starting to come down and the road's definitely dampening now. But we had Will Loader a full 8.6 seconds ahead of, in second place, Andrew Guy. Will Loader 3 minutes 4.677 seconds compared to Guy's time of 3:13.326 seconds. Barry Davidson on 250, 3 minutes 14.576 seconds. And Shelley Pike, remember she was on the podium last year at 72, the number starting in position 4 on the grid. She was 3 minutes 16.771 seconds, or 12 seconds slower than the poleman Loader. Here are the two course inspection cars coming back round again. So let's just get an update on conditions, which do seem to be closing in somewhat now. Let's get the latest out at Cross Fourways and say a very good evening to Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, good evening. Looking forward to the racing this evening. I can't say we're looking forward to what the weather's going to be throwing at us. It is, you couldn't really write it, could you? We've had a pretty dry spell, actually, since the roads reopened after the remaining qualifying sessions, right up to now. And just as the roads started to close, that's when the rain started to fall. And it is the case here, just getting ever increasing in dampness here at Cross Fourways. So no doubt that will play a part in maybe just some of the general pace of the session we're about to see. I did sort of think in my head, after the qualifying this afternoon, that's probably the fastest pace we're going to see of this meeting if the weather forecast is still to be believed. It's holding to its word at the moment. Looking into the distance, as was the case this afternoon, cannot see my trusty weather vane of South Barrule. That is still enveloped in cloud as it has been throughout the afternoon. Hopefully all 4 races taking place this evening, but just coming to the first one at hand, the 250 and 350cc singles. Tim, I know you went through a couple of the timings in there as well, and the big question is, can anyone catch Will Loader at the front? He dominated this class, didn't he, last year as well, and on the basis of what we saw in the final qualifying for this particular class as well in the 350 race, it looks like it's going to be a tall order for anyone to catch that pace. But nevertheless, looking a bit further down, number 17, Andrew Guy, yes, maybe 8.6 seconds back in terms of the qualifying times, but on that front row with a good start and a good away, you just never know what position you might put yourself in. You mentioned Shelley Pike and Andy Hunt in there as well. Andy Hunt, an experienced competitor around the pre-TT, of course. Great to see 2 of the newcomers inside the top 10, starting in the top 10 today. In Joris Vastenackels in 7th, the number 73 machine, and number 99, Robert Coley as well. Gone steady so far this meeting. A top 10 finish would certainly not be sniffed at a first pre-TT Classic. Just very quickly, I'll take a quick look through some of the other classes that we've got coming up here today. The 1100cc, that was a great battle, wasn't it, in terms of the final qualifying. Andy Hornby the quickest there, 2.7 seconds back. Alan Oversby, and then number 7, Harley Rushton as well, a further 2.8 seconds back. One of the merry-go-rounds, if you like, of that qualifying session. There were a couple of those today, weren't there, as everyone sort of found their pace, if you like. And then in the junior superbike side of things, Grant Thompson setting down the benchmark, and then Tim Poole 5.5 seconds further back, Andy Saylor 8.8 seconds back. So that may be a bit more spread out, but we just don't know with these conditions. In the meantime, we'll hand over to the paddock and Chris Kinley.
Thank you to Rob Pritchard out there across four ways. The machine's making their way down for the first race of this Blackpool's Pre-TT Classic for 2025. It is, of course, the MSP-R Singles Classic race with the green plates and the white numbers denoting the 175 to 250s and the blue plated machines 251 to 350 cc's. Looking back quickly to last year, 21, Will Loader was on the winner in that class in the 350s from 72, Shelley Pike. And of course, Andy Guy, who runs at number 17 this year, he was third in that one. The 250s won by... The wind, again, is starting in the rain, is wrecking my programme already. It's Andy Hunt, who won the 250 side from Barry Davison and Angela Cragg. And again, I've got the clipboard out now as well to try and hide the programme because it is starting to get wet. When I walked up to the holding area there, spoke to a few of the riders up there just to get their thoughts on it. And these classic boys are quite happy to run with a little bit of dampness. It's all right with these tyres, they get hot really, really quick. And we'll just walk past the throng. You can see the orange lights, very, very bright. So as I said, when I walked up from the race control area and walked up to where the riders in the paddock are, just had a little walk around there. It was perfectly dry here in great conditions. A thumbs up from Mike Hose. We'll see what Mike can do in this one. Not at the best of days, really. And looking at him, he's starting from row number 4, so he'll be trying to get a great start off that line. He starts off row number 4, so the front row will be 21 Loader, 17 Guy, and 40 Davison. So that's a good front row, isn't it? 72 Shelley Pike. Number 10, of course, is Andy Hunt, and then we've got 22 in there as well. Rod Graham. Third row, 99. That, of course, is Robert Cole, as Rob mentioned. He's had a pretty good, nice and steady. I talked to him last night, happy, and just he was a bit iffy with the conditions, but they all were really. And row 3 continues with 69 Gary Abbott, and then 73 in there. That's, as we said, Joas Fasten-Eccles. Look out for him. But that man, you've got to keep an eye on for row number 4, Tim in the commentary box. He will be one to watch out for. Will be Mike Hose on his 350 Bull Taco. We're going to close the programme and the clipboard back up again so it doesn't get absolutely battered with rain. I wouldn't say it's raining hard yet. It's just doing one of those, and it depends on what weather app you're wanting to use or whatever weather app you trust. And you know, the only thing that makes it certain, if it's raining on your head, it is going to be wet. And then the roads will be wet there now. Just having a little look out there on the Castletown bypass as the machines make their way up. The BMW of the Traveller Marshal will take them away. So you guys up there at Ballackagan and just on the hedges there to the right hand side, you're ready to go. Somebody just with a problem down there. I'm just going to see who that was. I think that's Andy McAllister. I think it is. Possibly is it Andy Mack, is it? Looking at the back of his head. I'm just double check on that. He's not in this one. That could have been actually Will Loader. But anyway, he's got away there now. And we just have a problem for another machine here now. Not sure if this ride is going to unfortunately get going. Just see what number this is, so obviously for listeners, it's number 15. Yeah, so number 15 unfortunately is Bob Doughty on the Ducati, the Douglas rider. Bob, looks like Bob will not be starting this one. He's jumped off the back of the Ducati there now, and it doesn't look like he's going to make it. We'll keep a little eye on this one because it is quite important, because we know they put a lot of time and effort and money into this. They'll have people listening around the circuit who will have probably chucked a few quid their way just to help them out, as we have a I thought there was one more machine just coming in behind me there now, but looks like the lid is coming off, or the helmet's coming off from Bob Doughty, and Bob is going to be a non-starter. So Rob, pick the bones out of this little lot. I tell you what though, I think my call of Mike Hose, one to look out for from the back, could be one to watch. Rob?
Could indeed, but fourth row, I suppose, and considering that they'll just be assessing the situation with the conditions here, even for someone like Mike Hose, the record pre-TT Classic winner around the Motoral Billown Course, even that might be a bit of a tough ask. And when you consider the pace of Will Loader so far, Andrew Guy and Barry Davidson on that front row as well, they're certainly not going to be giving up a place or two lightly. But Mike Hose, you can just never count him out, can you, across these pre-TT Classic races. Elsewhere, I'm sure those newcomers, as we've mentioned already, will certainly be wanting to make an impression from that third row. Number 99 Robert Coley and number 73 Joris Fasten-Eccles in there, and also of course Gary Abbott on the third row as well on the BSA Gold Star. We can hear them in the distance, probably taking it just a little bit slower because of the changing conditions here. The track definitely getting a little more damp, and just looking into the entrance I should say into Cross Four Ways here, where there's that little compression on the left hand side where the competitors come from into the braking zone there just is a tiny little dry patch by one of the bushes over there, but otherwise there is a little bit of dampness just creeping in on that outside line that a lot of them seem to prefer to take, particularly during the qualifying sessions when they've got a bit more tarmac to themselves there. So just something to think about as they make their way through. We can hear them in the distance on this sighting lap. Not just they, but of course the travelling marshals and the marshals here will be taking note of how the conditions are. Here they come. Here comes the convoy on the sighting lap for the first race of the Pre-TT Classic Road Races 2025. The travelling marshal, Andrew Guy, is at the front of that. He's starting on the front row. Alongside that man, number 40, Barry Davidson. Then there's number 72, Shelley Pike. Good solid qualifying session in the class for Shelley Pike, who's on. Number 10, Andy Hunt, on one of those green-plated 250 machines, remember? 2 race in 1. There is number 21, Will Loader, who has got underway, but just a little bit further back. He'll have to make his way through. More machines on the way. 63, Angela Cragg, mentioned a couple of times again. This meeting has been steady. Number 57, Ewan Hamilton, maybe one to watch in the 250 class on that Mark III Ducati. Number 70, Jeff Bates. And number 80 on the way through is Danny Pullen. Number 76, Roy Phipps. Number 49, Martin Tranter. Martin Tranter, a retirement in the previous class in the qualifying session earlier. Number 71 and 6 on the way through. That's 6 on a red plate as well. So maybe just a bit of dispensation just to let them out on this sighting lap as the course inspection cars and the travelling marshals make their way through. So that convoy now making its way down towards Church Bends through that S, and then they're on the longer straight, I say straight, slight right-hander as they make their way towards the Great Meadow, and then on the way towards Stadium. That's such an exciting corner to watch out here on the Billown Courses Stadium. And then there'll be that 90-degree right-hander once they go down through the box and then back into the eyes of Tim Glover here. But an interesting racing prospect. Will Loader, you would certainly argue in terms of qualifying times, is the favourite for this one, but who knows? Over to you, Tim.
Thank you very much indeed. Rob Pritchard out there at Cross Four Ways, and Chris Kinley trying to keep that programme dry down at the hut, as we refer to it, the clubhouse. And here comes the travelling marshal leading this singles field onto the grid here on the Castletown bypass for the MSPR Singles Classic race. The marshal pulls in here at the race control. We've got some of the line judges all here and marshals lined up with the yellow flags to indicate, and the little paddle boards out for rows 1, 2, 3, etc. on the way back, so they've got a guide as to where to go. 17, Andrew Guy is making his way into the middle of the front row. There is number 21, Will Loader, and number 40, Barry Davidson, leading 250 at the moment. Green plates for the 250s, blue plates for the 350s. So they have scrutineer coming all the way to the back, just checking everybody's in the right position on the grid. And at the top of School Hill, the rest of the travelling marshals and the course car. And number 4, Mike Hose, just getting himself into position. I think he'd come a little too far forward, and he's gone back now to where he should be. He's redirected there by the marshals. He had indeed come too forward. He's probably not used to being this far back on a grid here at the Motor Isle Billown Course. So the red flag still at the back. As soon as the green flag goes up, we will then see the board go up. Just checking that they're all ready. Still the red flag at the back of the grid. So there's something just not quite right at the back. Just waiting for the green. There is the green. So the board goes up. Engage gear. It'll flick round. Watch the lights, which are above me in the commentary box here. Watch the lights. And it's a good start by Barry Davidson. And a good one from Mike Hose. Let's go to Chris Kinley.
Nothing beats this around the world. A scream of 20-odd bikes coming towards you at the Motor Isle Billown circuit. It is number 40, but it's 21, Will Loader. And that man from the 4th row, Mike Hose, has made a cracking start. Mike Hose is up to 3rd place, but it was Will Loader, 21, from 40, Barry Davison, and number 4, Mike Hose. What a start by him.
Certainly was a cracking start by Mike Hose. He positioned himself much further forward on the grid and had to go backwards, wheel his bike, paddle it back into the correct position. Well picked up that by the marshals. But as I say, I think he's probably not used to being quite that far back on the grid. So it was a really noticeably good start. Little bit of a dawdly start by number 21, Will Loader, but he's made it up by the time we've gone to check on the whole shot there with Chris Kinley. But the two that caught my eye, definitely Barry Davidson, who is vying to win once again the 250 singles class. And also, as we've been well documented, Mike Hose from that fourth row, bang in the middle of the fourth row. So who's it going to be? Who's your money on? Got a good starter there. We've got some female riders as well. We had both of the two podiums last year, which created a little bit of history here. That's the story we're waiting to unfold in these 6 laps. Let's go to cross four ways. Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, you called it, Chris Kinley, that Mike Hose would make a good start, and indeed he has. Interesting that you say Will Loader maybe just dawdling a little bit, to just coin one of your terms, Tim. He was lower down the order on the sighting lap, so maybe just working something out before he got out onto the course itself. But we can hear the volume rising. The first racing lap of the 2025 Pre-TT Classic Road Races making its way towards cross four ways here. Along with the rain is a little bit of wind. There's 2 machines that have made a break for it, and at the front is number 4, Mike Hose, leading on the opening lap ahead of number 21. Will Loader, those 2 machines way ahead at the moment, a good few seconds ahead of the leading 250. Number 40, Barry Davidson. There's number 72, Shelley Pike, Andrew Guy, and Andy Hunt on the way through as well. There's number 94, Terence Sansom through cross four ways. Field spread out as number 22. Rod Graham also arrives a couple of seconds back. Number 63, Angela Cragg. Then just time for numbers 20, 73, 69, 99 and 57. So number 250, Ewan Hamilton there, and number 70, Jeff Bates on the way through. But Mike Hose building on his good start there. He's first through cross four ways for the 350s, around 2 bike lengths ahead of number 21, Will Loader. Also Barry Davidson after his positive start, as we watch number 76, Roy Phipps on the way through, and number 71, Richard Bull. Barry Davidson leading those green-plated 250s. There's another one of the 250s at the back of the order there. Number 49, Martin Trenter on the Farron Ducati as well. So 2 machines have made a break for it as the travelling marshals make their way past us. Looks like a 2-rider shootout on this opening lap. Of course, plenty can change over the course of 6 laps. But Mike Hose led across four ways. To you, Tim.
Wow, what a start it is from the Merseyside rider. And a machine into view, 2 machines in view, and it is number 4 that leads from 21. So it's Mike Hose from Will Loader. The gap 1.3 of a second. More machines into view, 4 of them practically together. So that was 40, Barry Davidson in third. He's the leading 250. Then it was 10, Andy Hunt in fourth. 17, Andrew Guy in fifth. Shelley Pike, number 72, in sixth. 94, Terence Sampson in at seventh. And it's 22, Rod Graham. And 63, Angela Cragg. She's in ninth. 10th, number 20, Gary Hutton. 11th, number 73, Joris Vasenacker. 69, Gary Abbott is in 12th. Newcomer Robert Coley, number 99, is 13th. And 14th is 57, Ewan Hamilton. And 15th, number 70, Jeff Bates. But it's a fantastic start from the middle of the fourth row for Mike Hose. 3 minutes 23.124 seconds. He's 1.302 seconds ahead of number 21, Will Loader. Barry Davidson then is the leading 250. We'll keep an eye, of course, on that as well. Number 10, Andy Hunt, will be completing the podium at the moment, the way things are, for the 350s behind Loader and Hose. And looking at others that are in the 250 race, 72, Shelley Pike, she's in the 350. 22 is also in the 350, so we'll work on that. Mike Hose leads. Let's go to Rob at cross four ways.
Just to add on that, Tim, before they get here, number 94, Terence Sansom, is currently completing the top 3 in the 250 class, but 2 duels emerging in the 350s. Mike Hose and Will Loader we saw out front, but Barry Davidson and Andy Hunt, 0.7 seconds separated them at the end of that first racing lap. First two machines across 4 ways. It is still number 4, Mike Hose, who leads from number 21, Will Loader, around 3 to 4 bike lengths between the two of them. They're opening up a big gap to the rest of the field in behind them. But Mike Hose leading again at cross 4 ways from number 21, Will Loader. But that 250 battle that's going on, Barry Davidson and Andy Hunt. Let's see, Andy Hunt moves up into the lead on the 250 class. Barry Davidson into cross 4 ways. Number 17, Andrew Guy, and number 72, Shelley Pike as well. Davidson and Andy Hunt virtually side by side there, and they are on the exit across 4 ways as well. That's a big old battle that's going on. There's number 94, Terence Sansom, currently completing the top 3 in the 250 class, followed by number 22, Rod Graham in the 350s there, a couple of seconds further back. Some great battles emerging already at the front, the field spreading out, and after a couple of seconds wait, here's number 63, Angela Cragg in the 250s as well. 2 more 250s towards us. Joris Fasternackles followed closely by number 20, Gary Hutton. So just a reminder, Mike Hose still leading from Will Loader by around 3 or 4 bike lengths across 4 ways, and Barry Davidson and Andy Hunt practically side by side. To you, Tim.
Thank you very much, Rob. And here are the 2 leading machines. It's still Hose in the lead. But it's less. It was 1.3 at the end of the first lap. It's 0.920 seconds at the end of lap 2, and they have managed to pull away from the rest of the field. Best lap there, 3:13.884 from Hose, 3:13.502 for Will Loader. There's our leader now, number 10, Andy Hunt. He's ahead of 40, Barry Davidson. They're in 3rd and 5th overall. Sandwiched in the middle is number 17, Andrew Guy, and 72, Shelley Pike is through. And that is 94. And 94 is Terence Sansom. So he's probably in 3rd, I would reckon, of the 250s. Number 22, Rod Graham, has gone through. He's a 350 machine, as is number 63, Angela Cragg, is 250. There's Joris Fasternacker, number 73, up into 10th position. 20, Gary Hutton, 69, Gary Abbott, and 99, Robert Coley are in 11th, 12th and 13th. So Mike Hose is less than a second ahead of number 21, Will Loader. In 3rd, it's number 10, Andy Hunt. 4th is number 17, Andrew Guy. The gap, well, they're 23, over 23 and a half seconds. Those first 2 ahead of 3rd place Hunt. Let's go out to cross 4 ways, Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, those first 2 stealing a march, like you say, 23 seconds to the rest of the field. The next nearest machine, the leading 250 machine of Andy Hunt. But as Will Loader close the gap again as they come into cross 4 ways, we have a new leader. It's number 21, Will Loader, from number 4, Mike Hose. So a new leader this time across 4 ways of those 2 machines that are storming out ahead of the rest of it. What's it like on the exit? Oh, Mike Hose might just be coming back at him on the exit across 4 ways. Great stuff there. But heading into cross 4 ways, number 21, Will Loader had taken the lead ahead of number 4, Mike Hose, by around 2 bike lengths or so. But Mike Hose, such a smooth line through cross 4 ways, making up the gap there, and they were practically side by side on the exit. Great racing there. Next machines emerging. There is the number 10, the leading 250 of Andy Hunt, and number 40, Barry Davidson, in behind, and then number 72, Shelley Pike as well. So those are your first of the 250 machines as well. Again, that's another quite close battle there. Number 10, Andy Hunt, and number 40, Barry Davidson. Barry Davidson, of course, caught up with a little bit of traffic of the machines around him earlier in the lap as well, but is now getting right back on the coattails of number 10, Andy Hunt. Here is the 3rd 250 machine. Number 94, Terence Sansom, still running in 3rd in the 250 class, and then another of the 350s is number 22, Rod Graham, as the field continues to expand a little bit. But the big news at cross 4 ways, Will Loader leads from Mike Hose. Andy Hunt still leading the 250s. To you, Tim.
And it is 21, Will Loader, who's taken the lead, 0.327 seconds ahead of number 4, Mike Hose. And quickest laps all round there. Loader 79.967 miles per hour. Hose 79.5450. 0.327 of a second between those front 2. and they have really opened up a gap at the top. Mike Hose has won this race 5 times previously, the last time back in 2023. He missed, of course, last year. 3 more into view. And there's the battle between number 10, Andy Hunt, and number 40, Barry Davidson, for the 250 title. And there's less than a tenth of a second between them, which is incredible. And Shelley Pike, number 72, is in 5th place, and thereby really getting into the podium situation once again for the 350 race. There's the man in 3rd in the 250s. That's Terence Sampson. Rod Graham has just gone through, and that was his quickest lap at 70.958. So the speeds are going up. All of them have put in their fastest lap of the race as the tyres bed in and they get used to the conditions on this 3rd lap. 63 through, that is in the 250s, Angela Cragg. So Will Loader leads Mike Hose by 0.3. And it's Barry Davidson and Andy Hunt in an almighty tussle for the 250. Let's go back to Cross Four Ways and Rob.
We've just got a couple of those 250s at the back of the order as well. So we'll just past the halfway point of this 6-lap race. Will those 2 front runners have to start contending with traffic? Here we go. It is number 21, Will Loader, right on his tail here. It's number 4, Mike Hose. Both of them, nothing to separate these two so far. Let's have a look on the exit. Just over the shoulder here. Oh, it looks like Mike Hose might have just got himself ahead on the exit across 4 ways. We'll see how that pans out going towards the start finish on the way towards lap 4. But going into cross 4 ways, number 21, Will Loader, still leading. But we heard at the start finish line there from Tim last time, just 0.327 seconds separated them going down the Castletown bypass. That was much, much closer than that by my reckoning, going into cross 4 ways on this 4th lap. But they continue to extend their distance to the rest of the field here. We can hear more machines making their way towards us here. Is this the 250 battle at the front? Yes, it is. Number 10, Andy Hunt, followed closely by number 40, Barry Davidson. And then around 5 or 6 bike lengths back is the 3rd of the 350s. That's number 72, Shelley Pike there. What's that like on the exit? Yeah, looks like number 10, Andy Hunt's gone and held that. Back to you, Tim.
Yep, more machinery on the bridge, and, well, it's running into the lower order riders, but here we are. Who's leading? 21 from 4. Oh, my word, 0.199 of a second that Will Loader leads Mike Hose. That was 49, Martin Tranter, and 71, Richard Boole, just going through in 15th and 16th, but recording their quickest laps of the race as well at the end of their lap 3. 80.837 for Will Loader on that lap, but 80.892 recorded there by Mike Hose. So that is the quickest lap of the race so far. And they are, well, acres away from the rest of the field now, that front 2. Will Loader, the winner last year, finished 2nd in 2023. And as I was saying, Mike Hose, a 5-time winner of this race. Got some way to go, though, with Bill Swallow having won this race on 8 times. First back in 1997. That is Shelley Pike gone through, number 72. So 10, Andy Hunt leads by 0.4 of a second ahead of Barry Davidson, number 40 in the 250s. They're 3rd and 4th overall. And 72, Shelley Pike, is in 5th position overall, but is the 3rd in the 350 race. Another machine interview. And that is 94, 6th overall, but 3rd in the 250 race for Terence Sansom. There's 22, Rod Graham. He is 7th and 4th overall in the 350s. Let's go out to cross 4 ways. Rob Pritchard.
Let's have a look before those 2 machines arrive of the remainder of the top 10 here. Angela Cragg, 8th at the moment on the 250. Joris Vasteneckels, 9th on a 250. And number 20, Gary Hutton in 10th, also on a 250. Number 21, Will Loader, still leading across boys. Opened up a little bit more of a gap to number 4, Mike Hose, though, on this lap here. So Will Loader possibly opening the taps just a little bit as they make their way through the lower order traffic. One of the lower order traffic coming past us here is number 76, Roy Phipps, in the 250 class on the Honda there. And then looking a little bit further down through the timings, in 11th overall is number 69, Gary Abbott. In 12th running at the moment is the newcomer 99, Robert Coley. Then 13th is number 70, Jeff Bates. Then in 14th is 76, Roy Phipps, and completing the top 15, number 49, Martin Tranter as well. But the field getting so spread out here. Will Loader, though, leading over Mike Hose with a bit more of a gap to that number 4 machine at Cross Four Ways. Here's another of the lower order riders, number 49, Martin Tranter, and number 71, Richard Bull. So they are on the previous lap in the 250 class, waiting to see those leading 250 machines make their way through to us over at Cross Four Ways. We can just see a few more into the distance. These are your leading 250s. Andy Hunt is ahead in the 250s. To you, Tim.
Yep, I think this is our leaders, and I think there is a bit more of a gap this time. 21 leads 4, and it's 0.930, so it's a bit more of a gap, but it's still incredibly tight. Less than a second between them. And a quickest lap for Will Loader. He's pulled the pin a bit, 81.168 miles per hour on that 5th lap. So the last lap flag was indeed out. So they have gone on to their 6th and final circuit here at the Motor Isle Billown Course. There's 76 Roy Phipps going through, completing his 4th lap in 14th position. As we look up the road to see what the contest is in this enticing 250 battle between Hunt and Davidson. But my word, Loader and Hose have just pulled away an incredible margin that they've got on the rest of the field here. And here, machinery in the distance, can see machinery now coming over the railway bridge, and a machine coming over the top of School Hill Rise. And it is number 49 lower down. Here are the leaders, 10, 40 and 72. So Andy Hunt still leads the 250s, 3rd overall. 4th overall for number 40, Barry Davidson, and he's 2nd in the 250s. And 5th place is number 72, Shelley Pike, who is 3rd in the 350 contest. So it's Loader from Hose by less than a second. And then there's nearly a minute until we see the 250 battle between Hunt and Davidson. Let's go to Robert Cross Four Ways.
As you can hear, a couple of the lower order riders behind me at Cross Four Ways. Just to let you know of a couple of retirements that are showing on our screen here is at number 17, Andrew Guy, who of course started on the front row as well, didn't appear after one of the previous laps, so maybe some mechanical problems. Here are your leading 2. Number 21, Will Loader, but number 4, Mike Hose, is closing the gap again here at Cross Four Ways. There's number 70, Jeff Bates, lower down the order. What's it like on the exit at Cross Four Ways between those two? Oh, it's close again. So Mike Hose, I think he's just closed the gap a little bit on the run from Ballabeg and through that winding section towards us here at Cross Four Ways. So this could be an interesting last lap or so, if you like, between those two at the front. This is not said and done yet. But yeah, just a confirmation, Andrew Guy listed as a retirement, as is number 57, Ewan Hamilton, in the 250 class as well. So a couple of retirements showing for us here. The next big question to ask is, what's going on in the 250 battle? That's been just as close throughout here, hasn't it? Andy Hunt's had the advantage over the last couple of laps here, but 40, Barry Davidson, certainly keeping him honest lap after lap there. Worth pointing out as well that Terence Sansom is still completing the top 3 as it stands in the 250s, the 94 machine. To you, Tim.
Yeah, I didn't think with the gaps such as they are that we're going to have the chance, and there's a lower order rider, but here's the 2 of them practically together as they... Oh, it's the lower order, they're having their own battle, but here are the 2 now, and they're very, very close. But it's going to be Loader from Hose, and it was 0.420. That was the winning margin. Let's go back to Rob out at Cross Four Ways just to get that battle for the 250s.
And they've just arrived here. Andy Hunt just ahead of Barry Davidson. Just seems to have stretched in on the exit there of Cross Four Ways. There's number 72, Shelley Pike, in behind that duo as well. But again, nothing to separate them here at Cross Four Ways as the rain continues to blow down in front of us here. But number 10, Andy Hunt, still leading the 250 class ahead of number 40, Barry Davidson. That's been a ding-dong battle throughout the day so far. Here's one of the low order riders, number 49, Martin Tranter, heading into Cross Four Ways as well. But it'll be great to see how that battle goes at the end. To you, Tim.
Yeah, I'm going to just hand to Chris just very quickly to get initial reaction as Loader and Hose come into the winner's enclosure. Chris?
Yeah, Tim, they're just in a deep conversation at the moment. We are waiting for the third place man on the road, and we're waiting for the first of the 250s to come through. Is it going to be number 10, Andy Hunt, or is it going to be 40, Barry Davison? They won't be far away from you. Not far away now, Tim. Back to you.
I'm just having a look up the road. See, I think this is a lower order rider, 76 just coming across. That's Roy Phipps, but this could be the two of them now. It is 40. Barry Davidson gets ahead of number 10, and I can confirm as well that 72, Shelley Pike, is back on the podium again as third place in the 350. So it's Loader, Hose and Pike, the top three in the 350s. Barry Davidson is your winner of the 250 race ahead of number 10, Andy Hunt, and we wait for number 94, Terence Sampson. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, great reaction there. Well done to Barry Davison. Give us a wink as well, and I'm sure the people listening over there in Northern Ireland, where they're celebrating Joey Dunlop there in Ballymoney today, will be happy about that. And my reckon it makes your third win around here. That was all right. What a race between you and Mike. What a belter. Well done.
Yeah, it's kind of the reverse of 2 years ago when we had a very similar scrap and Mike got the win. But no, I'm really made up for it. I've adjusted something on a gear change before that race, and it was a bad move because I couldn't get down the box. I was doing like 10 down changes for every hairpin. But luckily managed to get the win, and really happy. And I just want to say thanks to all the people who've helped me get here, because I crashed at Anglesey the week before, and there's people been running around, like Clive running around all over Leicestershire and the Midlands getting bits for me. I'm just mega happy. And all of Hevin Owen's team have been helping me out while I've been here because I've had no mechanic.
Hey, that's some crack with them lot, eh?
Oh yeah, it's a good laugh with them boys.
It was a bit quicker than you running into cross four ways, etc. You seem to get the pull on them through here.
Yeah, my bike's a bit faster, and on the run into all the hairpins, I was just having to brake so early and make sure I was getting.
Because of your gear change, yeah.
Like I couldn't leave it too late, else I'd be riding around corners in neutral or third, or it's just, yeah. But
well done. It's another win round Billown.
No, thank you very much. I'm made up.
I'll let you get out of the rain.
Awesome. Thanks,
you. Buddy. Cheers, thank you. Let's go up to Mike Oser with Campbell Gabriel de Shell in a minute. Mike, and you've had an eventful Billown so far, haven't you?
So far, yeah. That's the best result we've had up to now. Eh?
Good race though with young Will, though. He's learning his craft quickly, and no better man than his old man to teach him as well, eh?
No.
What a rider he was.
Yeah, rode against him quite a bit, and now...
Hard as nails.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to fight him either.
Will's taking over now, isn't he?
But you seem to be a bit quicker through the bumpy bits and twisty bits into the corners.
Yeah. Will was good on the faster sweepy bits. I think he had a little bit more grip on the back for some reason, where we picked for the Avons thinking we'd have plenty more grip, but it didn't. Still doesn't work when you go over the white lines.
Slippy.
Wiggles and jiggles, yeah.
Well done. It's another podium round here. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. And we'll get up and speak to our third place finisher, Shelley, again quickly. So we get on to get out of the rain. Shell, well done.
Thank you.
Another podium on the Isle of Man, a sunny Isle of Man, well, for the last 6 weeks.
It's been fantastic weather. Love it.
What about the race? Talk us through it.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. I had these two guys, the two 250s. They were in
Barry Davison
and Andy Hunt, absolutely brilliant. So I was racing with Andy Guy for a bit, but then he pulled in, and then it was just the three of us. But they were great at keeping me safe because I could see where they were going, and it's a bit wet out there.
Just a bit. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Thank you very much. So there we go. The top three in the 350 part of the MSPR Singles Classics, and I think we are ready to go with the podium. We'll get the interviews done with the other one. Now, I have heard, Tim, that the next two races have been dropped a lap as well to 6. Can you get that confirmed from the organisers up there? That's what I've just been hearing. So Martin Stratford Parsons is going to do the presentations. So there's no speaker system out, unfortunately, because it's too wet. So what we're going to have to do is just me. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Martin Stratford Parsons, please. You guys that are here, thank you. Martin, if you'd like to head up there, sir, thank you. And in third place, number 72, Shelley Pike. Well done to Shelley. Gets the hat and gets the handshake. In second place, number 4, Mike Hose. Well done to Mike. And the race winner on the number 21 bike, it is Will Loader. So there we go, folks. That is the top 3 in the Office Equipment Centre 350 side. We'll just quickly go back to Tim and just give those changes that we've said about the next couple of races, where conversely the rain has kind of lightened a bit down here. Tim?
Yeah, I can confirm that the next 2 races 2 and 3, were meant to be, of course, 7 laps. They've been reduced by a lap to 6 laps, and that is due to the deterioration in conditions and the forecast that is coming through. And that's come from the clerk of the course. Back to you, Chris Kinley.
Let's get the 250 side then. Barry Davison is in here. Let's get past him as well. And Barry, well done, young man.
Thank you very much, Chris.
That looked hard work.
Was hard work to be honest, but as I say, that means a lot.
After what you've been through since you were silly.
Exactly, with my hand, this time 10 weeks ago, when I was in the Ulster Hospital in Belfast, couldn't move my finger and thumb, and as I say, I always had a date in my head to aim for. It was Cookstown, and unfortunately didn't make Cookstown, but I've made here, and I was wanting to try and make that one count tonight, so I was.
And Andy give you a good run. Shelley was in the middle of it too, so keeping each other steady.
Yeah, fantastic. Andy and me has raced. In fact, the last 4 he has won 2 and I've won 2. And Shelley was on her 350, and sometimes the 350 had more speed on us and it got in between us a little, but no, absolutely fantastic. Conditions is not very nice now for anything else, but really nice to get to the end, and I must thank everybody who made a big effort to get me here. So
the next race has been dropped to 6 laps as well. We'll get it quickly. Proud moment for you and a proud day in your country as well, remembering Joey today.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I remember as a kid being at Southern Hundreds and Joey on that top step, and for me tonight to just be even on the same stage that I know he was on, absolutely fantastic.
Good lad, Barry. Well done.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. And let's get a quickly word with Andy Hunt if we can. Andy, well done.
Thank you very much.
Tough?
No, it's fun. I've never had so much fun in the rain. That was a brilliant race. That was, yeah.
Good man, well done. We need to get on because the class is going out again. Well done to you. Say hello to a few people.
Thanks to the visor shop for helping me out with the helmet.
Absolutely. Well done to all the guys in the visor shop. Let's grab a quick word if we can with Terence Sansom. If Terence is still up, look out. Don't want to get run over. He's going up. Right, we're ready to go. God, blimey. This is nice down here, isn't it? You got to speak to me now. Well, how was that? Bit lonely?
Bit lonely, bit damp, but all good.
A podium on the Billown circuit, though. How's that feel again?
Very happy.
Very happy. Alongside Barry and Dandy as well.
Well, they're just class, so to be with them's good.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's the top 3, so we do have the race to get ready for. So, ladies and gentlemen, you might not hear any of this, but the 250s. In 3rd place, number 94, Terence Sansom. Well done, Terence. Tim, I'll get back to you as quick as I can because the bikes are coming down. In 2nd place, number 10, Andy Hunt. I'm going to go over here. Let's get some atmosphere. And the race winner, number 40, Barry Davison. I knew that'd work. So there you go. There's the top 3 in both the classes, Tim. It's getting noisy down here. We'll hand back to you. Thanks to Martin from MSPR. Well done.
Thank you, Chris. Just completely finishes there. 7th was number 22, Rod Graham. 8th, number 63, Angela Cragg. 9th, number 73, Joris Fassenaker. 10th, number 99, Robert Coley, the newcomer. Well done to him. 11th, number 20, Gary Hutton. 12th, number 69, Gary Abbott. 13th, number 70, Jeff Bates. 14th, number 76, Roy Phipps. 15th, number 49, Martin Tranter. And 16th, number 71, Richard Boole. Well, of course, we move to the very next race now, which is the Foraging Vintners 1100cc Classic race. We'll bring you the grid as it forms and the non-starters, because I think you could say because of the conditions, Mr. Kinley, the organisers are getting a wiggle on.
They certainly are, Tim. Reduced down to 6 laps as Chris McGann, who rolls into his grid position, which will be at the back of the grid. So Chris is no mean rider around here, so maybe look out for Chris McGann from the back. At the front, as you said, you're going to run through that. Andy Hornby, he was on pole, and do you know what? I think this will be another cracker race. I know the conditions are not good, and looking at the radar I spotted, like I said to you before, it's what it is. We cannot change, we can't do nought about it, and these guys accept this thing and they just get on with it. We know sometimes you wouldn't even walk your dog in this, but these boys and girls want to race their bikes, and the Southern 100 Club, as always, as slick as anything. The machines are now making their way out. Wow! And I think one man to look out for on this circuit will be Harley Rushton on the number 7 bike on the Craven Matchless G50. After all the noise is gone, let's head out to Cross Four Ways. And Rob, conditions out there, not good, a bit damp under the trees and stuff. And like Mike was saying, those white lines, very, very slippy. Let's go to Cross Four Ways.
Well, to put it politely, Chris, it's not getting any better. I think it's fair to say it is very damp indeed here across Four Ways, and the breeze just seems to have lifted slightly. We didn't really get that during the afternoon, maybe because we're a couple of miles inland from where you're based over down at the Southern 100 HQ, but that has started to make its way towards us. Still a relatively light breeze in the grand scheme of things, but certainly getting much wetter on the approach to Cross Four Ways and no doubt on the exit as well. And of course that tree canopy that there is as well. So just having a look down in front of us on the left and right, or right and left, I should say, from a competitor's perspective coming into Cross Four Ways. A little bit of standing water starting to develop on the outskirts, in and around the gutters. Only a tiny bit, it must be said. Certainly nothing on the racing line in that respect, but we could just feel the wind. I can feel my umbrella just buffeting around a little bit. I'm combating the conditions here, trying to keep everything dry. Chris will know exactly what I'm talking about with that, but we can hear machines in the distance making their way towards us for this sighting lap. Let's take a look through some of the qualifying times from earlier today. Andy Hornby went quickest. Let's just take a little reminder of the best lap. That was a 2:49.631. Alan Oversby was second quickest with a 2:49.631 for Andy Hornby. 2:52.368 was the best from number 2, Alan Oversby. And one of the ones that Chris said to maybe keep an eye on here, number 7, Harley Rushton, was third fastest, 2:52.444. So only 0.076 seconds off the pace of Oversby as well. A little further back, number 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen, was fourth quickest, 2:56.377. And number 12, Richard Ford, made up the top 5 in terms of timings on that qualifying session, 2:57.318. Here come the machines, led by the travelling marshal. A lot of machines here, led by number 0, Andy Hornby. 36, there's number 7, Harley Rushton. Number 2, Alan Oversby. Number 32, Kenny Carruthers. 21, Will Loader. 101, 12, 39 and 100 on the way through this first group. And backing that up is number 59, Andy Kildee, on the way through as well. 4 more machines, 51, 11, Stephen Elliott. 4, Mike Hose. And number 82, Andy McAllister in that latest quartet. Just 3 more machines to make their way through Cross Four Ways in this sighting lap. Number 75, Neil Lloyd. Number 98, Brian Appleton. And number 9, Chris McGarn, who, as we heard from Chris Kinley, is starting at the back of the order. There's the 2 travelling marshals and the course inspection car on the way through as well. So those are your machines making their way towards Church Bends, and then on that last little run, round and down through the Great Meadow and then through to Stadium, onto the bridge and then into the eyes of Tim Glover for the start line. But the conditions are certainly not improving here at Cross Four Ways. Definitely much damper than it was at the start of the session, and my horrible feeling is it's not going to improve. Goodbye. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, just to give you the non-starters, pages 42 and 43 in the programme. Non-starters are 3, 9, 27, 35, 40, 45 and 86. We're having to maximise every little window we can get to get information out to you, the speed that the organisers are going through things. So on the front row, it's number 0, Andy Hornby, number 2, Alan Oversby, and number 7, Harley Rushton. Second row, 21, Will Loader, 32, Kelly Carruthers, 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen, as the travelling marshal now makes his way along and through, and we'll tie in, and there is Oversby coming to the middle of the front row. Third row then is 12, Richard Ford, 101, Gary Porter, and 39, Tomo Burnett. Fourth row is 59, Andy Kildee, 100, Hefin Owen, and 11, Stephen Elliott. Fifth row is 51, Nikolai Klinker, 53, Ian Thompson, and 82, Andy McAllister. Then it's Mike Hose on the 6th row, number 4, 98, Brian Appleton, and 75, Neil Lloyd. And 4, Mike Hose, I think, has just gone through, and assuming therefore is not starting this race. He's heading down to turn off at the bottom by the clubhouse. So it's sign up, watch the lights. They've engaged gears, green light waving at the back. Who's going to get this? It's a good start all round by the front row. Let's go down to Chris Kinley.
ho! What a start by. Unfortunately, losing Myco's off the line, and the spray has increased, but a good start by Andy Hornby, Harley Rushton, and then of course it's Alan Oversby in there about third place, but it was number 0, and that's right. That of course is Andy Hornby with 7, Harley Rushton, and number 2, Alan Oversby, your top 3.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris Kinley. That was a dramatic start. All seemed to concertina together at the start. All got a good start, and travelling marshals are heading out, but the inspection car is just at the back of the field because we do have a rider just pushing a machine. Can't make out the number in the gathering gloom at the moment. So the yellow flags are still out. Can't make that number out just yet. Looks like it's a 30-something by the look of it. Could it be Tomo Burnett? Or indeed Kelly Carruthers? We're just looking 39. So it is Tomo Burnett. And he's pushing his machine into the front of us here at Race Control, where the commentary box is, and the lovely ladies of the catering as well, and the timekeepers upstairs, and the race control itself. So disappointment there for number 39, Tomo Burnett. The Manx Norton not getting going. Disappointment for the Ramsey rider. Let's go out to Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, disappointment indeed. Been running steady in the class throughout this meeting so far. So, yeah, disappointment there for Tomo Burnett. We can hear the machines in the distance. We did hear, didn't we, that the front row trio have made themselves a good start. So let's see what that's like on the first lap through Cross Four Ways as the wind just starts to pick up a little bit here as well. I mentioned that my umbrella was being buffeted just a little bit, and it is still at the moment. Here we go. First 2 machines interview, and leading Cross Four Ways on the opening lap is number 0, Andy Hornby, from number 2, Alan Oversby. They opened just a little gap to the machines in behind. Number 7, Harley Rushton, number 21, Will Loader, number 100, Heffer Owen, and number 12, Richard Ford as well. That quartet quite close together. Number 101, Gary Porter, 32, Kelly Carruthers, and number 11, Stephen Elliott on the way through. There's number 59 as well. That's Andy Kildee on the 750 Honda as well. 4 more interviews. So in order, 51, 75, 9 and 98. So Chris McGarr moving up after starting at the back. So at the start of this race, it is on the first lap across 4 ways, number 0, Andy Hornby leading across 4 ways, around 3 or 4 bike lengths ahead of number 2, Alan Oversby, and then number 7, Harley Rushton, just dropping back a little bit, and that is allowing the likes of number 21, Will Loader, and number 32, Kelly Carruthers, just a little bit of a piece of the action through Cross 4 Ways as well. So the front 2 have opened themselves up a little bit of a gap, but that battle for third on the opening lap, as we can see a travelling marshal in the distance, could be up for grabs. To you, Tim.
Yeah, real disappointment, Tom Burnett. Hopefully getting a nice cup of tea or something. Here are the leaders, 0 and 2. It's Hornby and Oversby, 0.414 of a second between them at the opening on the opening first lap. 21.7. 112 really making a move there on 100. Heffino and Richard Ford trying to get round on the inside. 32, Kelly Carruthers through. There's number 101, Gary Porter. 11, Stephen Elliott. We can confirm Mike Hose, number 4, was a non-starter. Next bike interview, number 59, Andy Kildee. So it's Hornby from Oversby. Naught needs 2. 0.414 of a second. 2 machines in close order. In fact, one is retiring, it looks like, number 9 on the inside. And I'm hearing number 11, Stephen Elliott, is also a retirement. Number 9, of course, is the Peel man, Chris McGarn. He is retiring as well. Pulled over to the left, foot out from the side of the bike as well, just to indicate he was pulling in. And you can really see as they go past us now, the rain lights, the red lights on the back of the machine. But it's Hornby who leads Oversby by 0.414 of a second. Then a further 9.6 seconds back is number 21, Will Loader. And then we have number 7, Harley Rushton. Harley Rushton is in 4th. 5th, 100, Heffin Owen. 6th, number 12, Richard Ford. 7th, number 32, Kelly Carruthers. That's all we've got time to bring you. Back to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, not too much to separate those two on the opening lap, so not too many conclusions we can draw. A reminder for those who missed it before the start of the race as well, this has been reduced as well by 1 lap. It's now a 6-lap race instead of 7. And a reminder, a couple of different plates out there as well. Yellow plates for 500cc machines and over is white plates, so there are a couple of different capacities. We have a new leader at Cross Four Ways in number 2, Alan Oversby, getting ahead of number 0, Andy Hornby there. Those two making a break for it from the rest of the field. What's it like on the exit? Yeah, Andy Hornby looking smooth. So, Alan Oversby, both of them in fact, looking smooth on the way through. Fair few seconds back now. Number 21, Will Loader making up the top 3 at the moment. Number 7, Harley Rushton. And then 4th has then just opened the gap to number 12, Richard Ford, who's moved ahead of a number 100, Heffernan Owen, on the way through as well. So Richard Ford moving up a place into 5th ahead of number 100, Heffernan Owen. There's number 32, Kelly Carruthers running in 7th. So a new leader at Cross Four Ways on lap 2. It's number 2, Alan Oversby, from number 0, Andy Hornby. As number 101, Gary Porter in 8th at the moment, moving through Cross Four Ways and onto the last section of this lap. Then in behind in 3rd, Will Loader dropping back a few seconds, and then a second or so back by my reckoning, number 7, Harley Rushton as well. But it is a 2-rider shootout at the front at the moment as number 59, Andy Kildee, comes through Cross Four Ways, and number 75, Neil Lloyd. But it's a good old battle that's going on at the front at the moment. Loader in 3rd. To you, Tim.
Yeah, the rain is getting pretty heavy here at the start-finish line on the Castletown bypass. Here the leading 2. And it is Hornby who's got back in front between Cross Four Ways and the start-finish line here. Hornby leads by 0.673 from Alan Oversby, number 2. 3:09.484 was the time. 80.746 miles per hour. There's Will Loader, number 21, through in 3rd, and that is Harley Rushton in 4th, and Richard Ford has moved up into 5th place. 6th is now number 100, Heffernan Owen. And there is Kelly Carruthers, number 32. 7th place there. 80.746 for Hornby and 80.635 for number 2, Alan Oversby. There's 101, Gary Porter, on his way out onto his 3rd lap, number 101 in 8th position. So just the 8 machines have made it round so far, and there's definitely very wet roads now, as you can see the spray coming up from the tyres as they make their way past us. 59 and 75. 9th place then for Andy Kildare, and 10th for Neil Lloyd, bike number 75. And I think that might be all we're going to get round on this occasion, with the retirements that we've had. No, one more just coming along, but indicating, I think, that they're pulling in. Indeed, the arm is out, and a bit of a touring pace as they come through. That is number 98, Brian Appleton, who is a retirement. So Hornby from Oversby. Let's go to Robert Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, we're seeing increasing retirements, aren't we, as well? That may be due to the conditions or other things besides here, but we can hear those machines making their way towards us again. Alan Oversby led through Cross Four Ways last time, but we heard Andy Hornby got right back at him last time. What's it going to be through Cross Four Ways this time? Alan Oversby has retaken the lead on lap 3 ahead of number 0, Andy Hornby, as they continue to stretch their advantage to the rest of the field here. So Alan Oversby leading again at Cross Four Ways. He's managed to get back at Andy Hornby between the start-finish line and here. Wonder where that pass may have been made. Was it Ballabeg? Was it on the twisty turning section on the way towards us? Dropping a little further back is number 21, Will Loader. So that's your top 3 as it stands so far. Couple more seconds back. Number 7, Harley Rushton, getting a little more space down at the moment. Here's Harley Rushton. Number 12, Richard Ford, running in 4th here. Or 5th, I should say. Number 100, Heffernan Owen in 6th. And then Kelly Carruthers completing the top 7 as it stands at the moment. So just to recap, Alan Oversby retaking the lead at Cross Four Ways on lap number 3 from number 0, Andy Hornby. Both of them locked together in that battle at the front. They've opened up a bit of a gap to number 21, Will Loader, still looking steady in 3rd. Number 7, Harley Rushton, a second or so back in 4th. Then it's number 12, Richard Ford, and then number 100, Heffernan Owen, and number 101 comes through. To you, Tim.
Yeah, remember, end of this lap is half race distance, and who's in the lead this time? It is number 2, Oversby, but only just ahead of Andy Hornby. So it's the same at Cross Four Ways, but a change of lead here at the start-finish line. 0.192 of a second is the margin. My word, we do like this tight racing that we're getting, and we are getting an absolute treat here from Alan Oversby and Andy Hornby. Both went quicker on that lap despite the deteriorating conditions. 81.795 miles per hour for Oversby, and for Hornby 81.419 seconds. In the background you'll have heard number 21 Will Loader go through in third. Fourth is number 7 Harley Rushton. Fifth is number 12 Richard Ford, and in sixth position we have number 100 Hefin Owen. 32 Kelly Carruthers has just gone through and is in 7th position, and all have gone quicker on this lap. Their best speeds being recorded despite the conditions visibly deteriorating as this race has gone on. Another bike and machine into view, and it is number 101, that's Gary Porter. He is in 8th position, but what a tight race we've got at the top of the affairs there. It's Alan Oversby, bike number 2, 0.192 of a second ahead of Hornby. 81.795 miles per hour, the quickest so far. And then Will Loader is pretty comfortable, about 7 seconds or so ahead in third place. Of fourth place, Harley Rushton. Let's see what the latest is across Four Ways. Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, and just looking down in front of us, not just the rain that's falling from the sky, but the standing water definitely increasing in and around the gutter areas on the entrances to Cross Four Ways. Again, just to reiterate, it's not on the racing line as it stands at the moment. So here we go, past half race distance. Number 2, Alan Oversby still leads from number 0, Andy Hornby, but those two still locked together in battle at the front. What's it like on the exit? Yep, Oversby's held it on the exit across Four Ways as well. So Oversby holding on to that lead that he'd managed to take at the start-finish from number 0, Andy Hornby. But all is not done and dusted yet, and impressive as well, given what we're seeing out and around the course at the moment. They've actually been able to up the pace just a little bit. Going steady in third at the moment, number 21, Will Loader, arrives at Cross Four Ways with this field of riders. It's been thinning at a rate of knots, hasn't it, throughout the course of the last couple of laps. Pulling out a bigger lead, as we heard, up to 7 seconds, Tim said, to number 7, Harley Rushton, who arrives in 4th. And he's around 3 or 4 seconds by my quick maths to number 12, Richard Ford, here in 5th. And just dropping back a little bit further is number 100, Hefin Owen, and then number 32, Kelly Carruthers, maybe just making up a little bit of ground on number 100, Hefin Owen here. So maybe not giving up hope on looking at P6 as it stands at the moment. Kelly Carruthers there making a bit of time. To you, Tim.
Two machines about to emerge over School Hill Rise. Who's got the lead at the end of lap 4? It's still number 2 ahead of 0. Alan Oversby is 0.287 seconds ahead of bike 0, Andy Hornby. Still not got used to saying 0 on a bike, but there we are. That's what he's elected for, Andy Hornby. And the fastest lap there was just a whisker there to Oversby at 82.319 miles an hour, as opposed to Hornby at 82.277 miles per hour. That's 21, Will Loader, in third position. And he is some 31.2 seconds back. That's number 7, Harley Rushton, in 4th, and in 5th, number 12, Richard Ford. 2 more into view. That's number 100, Hefin Owen, in 6th, and 7th, number 32, Kelly Carruthers. But I can confirm that we've just got 10 machines left in this race now. There has been quite a high attrition rate so far, but we're getting a terrific treat and battle at the front. It's Alan Oversby, just a whisker, 0.287 seconds ahead of number 0, Andy Hornby. Loader has increased his margin over 4th place, Rushton, to around 10, just under 10 seconds. So he's fairly comfortable there in 3rd place as another machine crosses the line. That is the number 101, Gary Porter. Oversby or Hornby? The question for Rob Pritchard.
The eternal question in the rain, isn't it? So here we go. We can hear those machines coming towards us, two together. And a new leader at Cross Four Ways. Number 0, Andy Hornby leads at Cross Four Ways from number 2, Alan Oversby. The two of them locked together. What's it like on the exit again? It is Hornby holding on to that as well. So a new leader, a lead change again, I should say, at Cross Four Ways. Number 0, Andy Hornby ahead of number 2, Alan Oversby. Of course, a big gap to the rest of the field in behind them at the moment. The last we saw from the start-finish line was that number 21, Will Loader, was still going steady in third. A few more seconds back was number 7, Harley Rushton in fourth. And as we heard from Tim, if you missed it before, we've got 10 machines circulating now in what has been quite a high attrition rate in this race. Here is number 21, Will Loader, completing the top 3 as it stands. Still a fair few seconds back from that leading duo. And dropping back a little bit further, here's number 7, Harley Rushton, in fourth as well. You can see the wind as well, just starting to sweep some of the water about here on the surface here. And Harley Rushton still there, holding off number 12, Richard Ford, who's dropped back a couple of seconds. So spread out in those top 5. Richard Ford's just stolen a bit of a march on Heffernowin. To you, Tim.
Yep, two-sighted on the bridge, I think, as we're starting to struggle to see a little bit who we got in the lead. It is 0 from 2. So Andy Hornby retakes the lead here at the start-finish, as he had done at Cross Four Ways. And, well, that's one of the bigger margins, 0.492 seconds between them. That's because of a lap there from Hornby of 82.642 miles per hour, whereas Oversby's quickest was on the lap 4. So that's 5 laps completed, and it is now, of course, a 6-lap affair. So 5 laps completed. It is the last lap that they're now on. There's our man in third, number 21, Will Loader. And 40.7 or so seconds back. Then it's number 7, Harley Rushton. And that's around about the 10-second margin between Loader and Rushton in third and fourth. Fifth just gone through. In fifth place, it was number 12, Richard Ford. 2 more machines. That's number 100, Heffin Owen, and number 32, Kelly Carruthers, having a great dice between the pair of them. So 7 machines are through. Definitely the road is very wet here at the start and finish line, as the real heavy rain that we were promised in the forecast, unfortunately, does seem to have materialised. So, who's it going to be again? Hornby versus Oversby. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and find out with Rob Pritchard.
It's the battle which matters most, and it seems to be the only battle taking place, I think, just with how spread out the field is. Probably a few of them thinking, I may not be able to catch them. But it's Alan Oversby leading on the final lap at Cross Four Ways from number 0, Andy Hornby here. And he'd opened up just a little bit of a gap. Again, let's check on the exit. Alan Oversby holding on to that as well. So Alan Oversby leading at Cross Four Ways from number 0, Andy Hornby, on this final lap. But again, yes, some of these riders will be thinking to themselves, well, I'm probably not going to be catching the machine in front. I'm not threatened by any of the machines behind as well. Let's just keep things nice and steady, just given how atrocious the conditions are here at the moment as it stands. But that battle looks to be going right to the wire. Number 2, Alan Oversby, and number 0, Andy Hornby as well. They're making their way through Church Bends and on their way towards the Great Meadow, where it'll be all about power on the way in towards Stadium, that left-hander. And still running in third here is number 21, Will Loader, still some distance back. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, just want to make sure that we get it. We just saw a bike on the bridge, but I fear it is, and it is, a lower order rider, number 59, Andy Kildare. But we don't want to miss the finish. The checkered flag is poised now on this reduced lap race. And who's got this here? It is number 2, Alan Oversby, who takes the win by 1.196 seconds. It's going to be fascinating to hear where that overtake took place. But Alan Oversby has got ahead of Bike 0, Andy Hornby, a quickest lap there of 83.977 miles per hour for Alan Oversby. And Andy Hornby, also his quickest lap, 83.206. We'll confirm who's third, but let's get the reaction from an absolutely monumental tussle there between Oversby and Hornby. Chris Kinley.
Yeah, I told the Ruthless Racing team that they'd had the win. They couldn't believe it. Absolutely could not believe it at all. And you said about horsepower there. Don't forget Andy, of course, on the biggest 750 Triumph. Alan only on the 500 Honda. And Alan had him out at Castletown Bridge most laps. And then Andy obviously had the drag on him and kind of overtook him here through every lap there now. And that was hard fought win for Alan. Number 21, Will Loder's confirmed in third position. But a seventh win in this class for Alan Oversby. We'll let him take the gloves off. I'm not going to keep you long, Al. Get you out of this rain because it's not nice at all. And hello, Julie. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing okay. Goodness me, that was a good battle. But here comes Will Loder, second podium of the meeting so far. In, well, I'm going to say worsening conditions. But another win around the Motor Alpine circuit. Well done, Al. Goodness me.
Blimmin' hell, that was hard.
He had the GGs down the straight, didn't he? But you were duffing them up corner-wise.
Yeah, I had the upper hand on corners, but bloody hell, it was hard work.
Slippy as anything. Conditions are getting worse now.
Yeah, really slippy. Yeah.
Who's the owner of the bike? Is that the chap with the grey hair? Give him a name check because he was over the moon.
Yeah, Lindsay Hurst, he owns the bike. And all his mechanics, Gordon and Christian, yep.
They could not believe you've got it, to be fair. That's nice of them, isn't it? It just seemed to me every lap, Tim was calling you across the line over it, but you knew it was coming, didn't you? Yeah. Where were you better than him? Because you've got a lot more experience than him here, haven't you?
Well, through the twisty bits, Ballabeg, Ballawet Store through there. Mine was more agile than his bike through there, so...
We wouldn't walk our dog in this, would we?
No, I wouldn't.
Well done, Al. Great to see you here again.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers. Well done. Well done to team. Well done, Julie. Well done, team. And Andy, let's get in there. Sorry, bud, just squeezing behind you there. You had the legs on him, but I think a little bit more experience from Al just had you on the little twisty bits, didn't it? But the bike was sounding grand, and you had him on the straight bits, didn't you?
Well, I had a bit of a plan, but they never put a last lap flag out.
Okay, did they not?
No, they didn't. Didn't say either. But I mean, he rode brilliantly. Really super smooth. I struggled with the. I mean, we've got a bit more power. Yeah. The bike was spinning and all over the place. Sometimes an advantage, sometimes not an advantage. But the best man won. He rode fantastically. So credit to him. But it was a good race. It was a good fun.
Did you learn anything from sticking behind him for a bit?
I couldn't even see him. My visor was so. There's absolutely no visibility. So I wouldn't have known.
But winning last year and the second place this year is grand, isn't it?
Well, it's not a bad defence, is it? We went well in practice. Yeah, I can't complain. It's great. The weather's not been kind to us, has it? After the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been perfect, hasn't it? But we put a show on. I think everybody enjoyed it, so that's the main thing, isn't it?
Feel for the club, don't you? Really, with this?
Oh, it's just. We go to TT tomorrow night, so next week's not looking so good, is it?
Cross fingers, well done.
Okay, thanks
Andy. Well done, mate. Cheers. And where's young Will over here? We won't keep him long either. Little dude's here as well with the best earmuffs in the paddock, we'll have to say, on that one. We'll let him take his gloves off, and then we'll get the podium done. And Tim, I think he's ready now, actually, Will. And bit of a lonely ride, and I won't keep you long. Well done, another podium.
Yeah, my first ever 500 podium.
That's not bad, is it?
No, I'm well happy. Bikes are amazing, and I'm just glad to get to the end because
it's hard work, attritional. There's only about 10 finished, I think.
I mean, it really helps in the rain when you've got a fast bike, and I'm really lucky that the engines I've got and the stuff that I've done with Minnovation and that, it's the best 500 you could have.
Yeah. But conditions worsening from the first race earlier on when you did with the winner.
Oh, horrendous! I finished the 350 race and I thought, I kind of know where I am with this. I'll be able to get a real cracking start, and rode around the warm-up lap, and it was just like, oh my God, it was a different track.
Anyway, we'll let you go up on the podium. Well done, Team Loader. Well done.
Yeah,
cheers,
awesome.
Booker. Well done, thanks. Cheers, buddy. Thank you. Pardon? Hang on a second. I'm trying to get through my third program of the day, Dickie. Just hang on a minute. Hang on. The program is the. I don't know. Is the fairest answer? Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. It's decided to come apart. No, don't think so. No, don't think so. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do the podium for the Forage and Vintners 1100cc Classic Race, and one man who needs no introduction on the classic scene. Multiple winner down here. Chris Palmer's going to do the presentation, folks. Give Chris Palmer a big round of applause. Well done, Ronnie. As Ronnie Corbett steps up onto the thing. In third position, number 21, is Will Loder. Well done, Chris. In second position, last year's winner, 0, Andy Hornby. And his 7th win in this class on the Ruthless Racing Honda, Alan Oversby. And he puts the blue hat on. So there we go, folks, the top 3. Alan gets another one of the Southern 100 sashes to go over his head and gets a Foraging Vintners sparkling wine. And well done to our sponsors of this Foraging Vintners 1100cc race. So once more, folks, let's say well done to Will Loader, Andy Hornby and Alan Oversby. So there we go, the top 3 in that race. Tim, back to you to tidy up.
Yeah, 4th place, thank you, Chris, was number 7, Harley Rushton. 5th place, number 12, Richard Ford. 6th place was number 32, Kelly Carruthers. 7th was number 100, Heffin Owen. 8th was number 101, Gary Porter. And the last of the finishers, just 9 finishers at the end, was number 59, Andy Kildare. So that is race 2 done. So next we have the Jeff Duke Junior Superbike, and remember that this has also been reduced to 6 laps. 6 laps for the Junior Superbike. Let me give you the details that we have from the organisers and non-starters. Pages 44 and 45 in your programme. Non-starters are numbers 14, 54, 64, 82, 85, 86, 91, 97 and 110. That's one of the course cars just goes through. We've got a change of machine as well. Colin Croft is not riding a Yamaha. He is now riding a 599 Croft Electrical Honda CBR. The grid as we have it, on pole will be number 44, Grant Thompson. Middle of the front row, 33, Chris Moore. And 48, Michael Bampton. The second row, 95, Martin Clare. Number 104, Luke Blevins. And number 8, Dan Sale. The third row is number 88, Leon Donaghy. Number 29, Sam Norton. And number 18, Andy Saylor. The fourth row, and I'm just keeping an eye on things as the clerk of the course has come down to talk to the guys who've been out on the course inspection. This was a commitment with the weather forecast that they were going to say that they would do a course inspection at the end of each race, and I think we got an okay signal there from the clerk of the course. So we'll continue with row 4 is number 19, Tim Poole. Number 24, Adam Randalls. And number 107, newcomer Nick Sweet. Fifth row is 122, Israel Gillette. Number 25, Aaron Hans. And 78, Dean Radcliffe. Sixth row is number 31, Colin Croft. 101, Gary Porter. And 30, James Leatham. Seventh row, number 28, Oliver Wilson. Number 58, Lawrence Cummins. And number 50, Dave Glover. And then on the 8th row, on his own, number 22, Rod Graham. So that tees us up for the Jeff Duke Junior Superbike race. Orange plates, black numbers. And remember, the race has been reduced to 6 laps from the original 7 due to the deteriorating conditions. Definitely a thumbs up, though, and good commitment from the clerk of the course as they are doing an inspection. He's relying on feedback from his safety officer and from the travelling marshals and the marshals in general around the course. And they're just checking conditions. They're obviously concerned about the standing water that Rob's referred to, albeit off the racing line, just making sure that it is safe for racing to continue, because it is pretty grim now out there with the rain continuing to pound down. Let's get a little bit of a report out at Cross Four Ways on the weather conditions as they set us up for this race now, and talk to Rob Pritchard. It's got worse and worse as the evening's gone on, but how are things at Cross Four Ways?
Yeah, it has indeed, and actually just out in front of me for the last few minutes, ever since that last race concluded, the marshals down here are sweeping all that standing water into the drains on either side of the road, because it really had been building over the last few minutes, so they're doing absolutely everything they can to try and keep it as clear as possible. As you did mention, it's not on the racing line on either side, but it had just started to pool a little bit on this near side to where we are, also on the right-hand side as the competitors will be coming towards us. But out on that left-hand side, some of them like to take that more outside line, if you like. They've been shoveling water into the drains there just to get rid of it. So it has sort of improved the situation here. Like I say, they're doing the best they can here with the conditions. Not too much else you can do when the elements are as persistent as they are. When the course inspection car actually came through here a couple of minutes ago, they went through enough standing water that nearly soaked the people across from me over on the far side as well. So I think that was a bit of a signal. Yeah, we've got to try and get rid of some of this. So they're doing what they can. Hi, guys. Getting a bit of away from the guys over there as well. And fair play to them and fair play to everyone for battling the conditions here. But I think it's time to hand over to Chris Kinley in the meantime.
Certainly is. Thank you very much, Rob, there at Cross Four Ways. We're at the sharp end, we're at the pointy end, as they say, of this Junior Classic Superbike race, sponsored by the Jeff Duke guys, and it's 44 Grant Thompson stood right next to him on the 44 bike. He is on the Isle of Man bike storage machine, and the man from Isle of Man bike storage is here next to me, so better be nice. Next to him is 33. That's Chris Moore. Chris on the lovely TZ 250 machine, and next to him, alongside him, is 48 Mike Bampton. That's your front row. And I'm not going to try and read anymore because the rest of it is rain destroyed. That's all I'm going to say. I'm on the third programme of the day. News at 10, sober. No, it's one of those. It's just... I actually put my clipboard down, okay, on the ground, sheltered it away, and what it did, the wind moved it round and just let the rain batter on it while I was doing the interviews for the winners podium there. Now we are missing somebody off row number 2. We are missing number 95. That's Martin Clare. We are missing him, so keep an eye on that. So the gate is now open. Having a little watch to see who's on what tyres. They all seem to be on the wet tyres. They have to be on wets now, really, don't they? So that is just about everybody away. So here we go with our third race of the day. There's the Jeff Duke Superbike, Junior Superbike race in not very nice conditions here on the Isle of Man. I promise it'll get better. Let's go back to Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, it does make you wonder. I don't think we're going to get too much better at this point, but I think even my headphones are starting to take a little bit of a battering here. You can just hear a little bit of a crackle in the background, but we can hear the machines in the distance at the moment on this sighting lap. But there is certainly a couple of technical things going on with the equipment that I've got going right now, so we'll see if we can try and rectify those. Anyhow, we can hear them in the distance on this sighting lap. The conditions, as we well know, really are not improving at this moment in time, but making their way towards us as it stands. Great to know that we are still able to go ahead. We are still able to get a couple of bits of racing in before the rain. Well, I suppose before the rain overbears us a little bit. One thing we're going to have to be wary of as well with the low cloud cover is that we do have a situation around light as well. Because of the low cloud and the low visibility, that might be something that comes into play a little bit later on. But they are clearly taking their time on their way round to us as well. We can hear them circulating on their way and just slowly making their way towards us here. But looking at that front row as well, we did see Grant Thompson, as you mentioned, the pole sitter as well, had a great performance out in qualifying as well. But number 33, Chris Moore, usually in the order on the road together, there wasn't too much between them. Number 48, Michael Bampton, just seemed to slowly make his way through the order, really, over the course of the qualifying session and get himself into a position to get on the front row. Interesting what we hear about number 95, Martin Clare, may well be a non-starter. Number 104, Luke Blevins, we've mentioned a couple of times the Ramsey rider as well, who's been turning a few heads over at racing over at Derby with the Andreas Racing Association. In the meantime, though, here is the travelling marshal and the first two machines out on the course. And that is number 44, Grant Thompson, number 33, Chris Moore. Plenty more making their way forward. Number 48, 104, just time for numbers 8, 88, 18, number 19, 107, 14, 25, 122, 30. Busy field this, 78, 101, 31. And then just a couple of seconds back is the number 50 outfit of Dave Glover there. A couple more machines emerging in the gloom towards us. They are number 22, so that's Rod Graham. And then number 28 at the back of the order here is the newcomer Oliver Wilson. There are the two travelling marshals and the course inspection car, no doubt keeping a constant eye on things as these riders make their way around the Billown Course here. So onto that final little segment, if you like, on their way towards the grid, as we can just see the inspection car went past and splashed a load of water from that outside line, if you like, over across four ways again. So the standing water still very much about at the moment, but they are making their way now towards that start-finish line and should be with Tim Glover and into his eye line in the next few moments or so. But the conditions, we'll keep saying it, they're not getting any better out here. It's an ongoing battle. To you, Tim.
Yeah, they've definitely gone round a little bit more gingerly, if we can put it that way, on this formation lap. But here is the travelling marshal and those headlights at the front of that BMW that they're riding this year. The travelling marshals, all credit to the work they do. They'll be absolutely soaked in those leathers, unfortunately. But there's the pole sitter, Port St Mary's man himself there on the front row, Grant Thompson. And the clerk of the course, Giles Ollie, just having a little chat with him. We've got bobble hats in attendance here in the club merchandise. The Sudden 100 merch very much on display. But the technical officials just making their way right to the back of the grid. And we can see the further travelling marshal at the back of the grid. Just the two of them lining up there at the top of School Hill Rise. And they're just checking everybody's in the right way. It's Thompson, 33 Moore is second in the middle of the front row, and then it's 48 Michael Bampton. And we'll wait to see the green flag go up, and then the sign will go up, engage gear. Then it'll reverse round, watch the lights, and the headlights on these travelling marshals and the inspection car on the hill are really shining to the fore now. The green light is waved, engaged gear. The board is flipped round. Watch the lights, watch the lights. The revs go up, the revs go up. Good start by Grant Thompson. It looked like they're all safely away. Let's go to Chris Kinley.
You can hear that TZ250 and Chris Moore fire off the line, but Grant Thompson has got the lead. It's 44 from 33, then it's 88. They're only numbers at the moment. 44 Grant Thompson leads, 33 Chris Moore with 88 there. Jason Doherty, Donnerty there. My paperwork is destroyed, absolutely destroyed. And at the back of the field there, 50 Dave Taylor on the 250. And we do, I think, have a retirement. Just can't see it in the gloom there now. And it's number 44 that leads off the line.
Thank you very much indeed, Chris Kinley. And, well, that was a great start there by Grant Thompson. He got cleanly away and just got himself a little bit of comfort room at the front, knowing he wasn't going to get jumped from behind by Chris Moore or Michael Bampton. But a good start, it seems, as well by Leon Donaghy in the third row. Number 88 seems to have got through. So, what a good conditions, as we're hearing from Rob, are deteriorating. And there are areas on the Ballachagan Straight that sometimes have a bit of surface water. And certainly on the run out across four ways, on the entrance to Cross Four Ways, the water does gather on the outside there and around the corner and along Great Meadow. And it does a little bit on the start-finish line past us. But let's go to Cross Four Ways and see the action on this opening lap with Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. We've had to do a pit stop of our own here with some of our equipment because the rain is starting to wreak havoc. I hope these words are coming through clearly. But we can hear those machines in the distance here. So again, just a reminder, this is over a reduced distance if you didn't hear the updates earlier in the session. This is now a 6-lap race compared to what was the previous scheduled 7. Number 44, Grant Thompson leads on the opening lap from number 33, Chris Moore. So the top two making a good start here. Dropping back a couple of seconds is number 18, Andy Saylor, and then number 8, Dan Sale, and number 88 is Leon Donaghy there. Number 48, Michael Bampton, has dropped back from the first row. 122, 24, 31, 104 and 19, 25, 107, 30. So only time for numbers on the way through here. There's 101, Then number 78 here, a couple of seconds back, is Dean Ratcliffe. And number 50 is Dave Glover at the back of that convoy on the way through Cross Four Ways for the first time. So just to recap, it is Grant Thompson who leads on the opening lap here. And just a couple of bike lengths ahead of his nearest challenger as well. We mentioned there as the travelling marshal goes through as well that Michael Bampton, who'd started on the front row, just seems to have dropped back a couple of places. Another travelling marshal making their way past us as well. But Grant Thompson, as he managed to establish that pole position right at the qualifying session, he's holding pole at the moment. To you, Tim.
Yeah, first machine spotted on the bridge. Only saw the one. There's another one on the right. It is Thompson that leads. And there's number 33, Chris Moore, 2.989 seconds. Third is number 18, Andy Saylor. Fourth, number 8, Dan Sale. And fifth, number 88, Leon Donaghy. 122, Israel Gillette through. Retiring there was number 19, Tim Poole. 7th place is numbers 24, Adam Randalls. 8th, number 31, Colin Croft. 19, Tim Poole was in 9th, but he was indicating that he was pulling in. 10th, number 107, Nick Sweet, the newcomer. 11th, number 48, Michael Bampton. 12th, number 25, Aaron Hands. 13th, number 30, James Leatham. 14th, number 101, Gary Porter. 15th, number 78, Dean Radcliffe. 16th, number 50, Dave Glover. And in 17th position, we've got Luke Blevins, number 104. So it is Grant Thompson, nearly 3 seconds ahead of number 33, that is Chris Moore. Chris Moore, in turn, is around about 5 seconds ahead of number 18, Andy Saylor, who is in third. But he is only a second ahead of number 8, Dan Sale, who in turn is around 3.3 seconds ahead of number 88, Leon Donaghy. And then Israel Gillette is in 6th position, number 122. Is it still Thompson at Cross Four Ways? Let's go out to Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, that's a bit of a gap considering the conditions that Grant Thompson has opened out in the grand scheme of things. Your first machine in is number 44, Grant Thompson, and that lead really has been extended by the Port St Mary man here to number 33, Chris Moore, who arrives at Cross Four Ways, but that gap has definitely opened out a little bit more than what it did on that opening lap as well. So Grant Thompson in firm control at the front, currently running in third, making up the top three, number 8, Dan Sale, who's pulling out a little bit of a gap to number 18, Andy Saylor on the way through Cross Four Ways. So those are your first 4 machines through. Grant Thompson still leads. Here is number 88, that's Leon Donaghy on the Lancaster & Son Ray Green Honda. 5 of those through, and now more machines emerging through the gloom. Number 122, Israel Gillette. Number 24, Adam Randalls. 31, Colin Croft. And number 107, Nick Sweet, the newcomer, in that order as well. A couple of seconds back from that particular trio this time is number 25, so that's Aaron Hands. And then 2 more into Cross Four Ways. They are number 30, James Leatham, and number 101 is Gary Porter. But again, as we've been seeing across the respective fields so far, starting to get a bit spread out, we've already seen a couple of retirements. To you, Tim.
Yeah, just the one and the second bike just traversing the bridge now. But here is our race leader. That is number 44, Grant Thompson, and it's an increased advantage over number 33, Chris Moore. 6.697 seconds is the advantage. Up into third is number 8, Dan Sale. And there down into fourth is number 18, Andy Saylor. So Sale has moved into the podium positions. Another machine past us. That's number 88, Leon Donaghy. And that's 122, Israel Gillette. That's 24, Adam Randalls. 31, Colin Croft. And 107, Nick Sweet. So Grant Thompson, 6.697 seconds ahead, 86.534 miles per hour. Chris Moore on that lap in second, number 33, 84.756. And Dan Sale, 84.308 miles per hour. 10th then is number 25, Aaron Hands. 11th is number 30, James Leatham. 12th is number 101, Gary Porter. And 13th is number 78, that is Dean Radcliffe. And 50 through is they've just the screen jiggling a bit there. 50 is 14th place, Dave Glover. So Grant Thompson then, nearly 7 seconds ahead, a growing advantage ahead of number 33, Chris Moore. Dan Sale is in a podium place. Let's go to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, so as it stands, we could have two Manx riders on the podium if the current order is to remain as it is. Here is your race leader, number 44, Grant Thompson. Still extending that advantage going into Cross Four Ways. Here we are, only just now seeing that second machine in the distance with the spray that's now coming off the roads here at the Billown Course. Here is number 33, Chris Moore as well, who in turn has got a comfortable lead at the moment over number 8, Dan Sale as well. So those are your top three as well as the field continues to spread out here. A few seconds further back, 18, Andy Saylor here, running in fourth at the moment, some way off the pace of Dan Sale in front, so not troubling the podium just as it stands through Cross Four Ways this time. You can see more spray kicking up off the surface here. Here's the latest, number 88, Leon Donaghy on the way through, completing the top five as it stands. Then four machines interview, led by 122, Israel Gillette, and there's 107, Nick Sweet, number 24 and 31, so Adam Randalls and Colin Croft on the way through Cross Four Ways as well. Really spread out indeed just at the moment, but it is as you were from the opening couple of laps. Grant Thompson leads. To you, Tim.
Yes, and he's across the railway bridge and into our view now. And that's a quicker lap again, 86.562 now as we await the man in second to come. Here he is. Number 33, Chris Moore. It's 11.330 seconds, the advantage that Thompson has over Moore. And if anything, number 8, Dan Sale, is getting a little bit closer, nudging his way closer to 33, Chris Moore. Dan Sale then in third. Fourth, and that's the noise you just heard going through, is number 18, Andy Saylor. Another machine interview. That's 88, Leon Donaghy. 122, Israel Gillette. And 107, Nick Sweet, the newcomer. That's 24 and 31 in close proximity. Adam Randalls and Colin Croft in 8th and 9th place, respectively. So a growing advantage, a dominant performance at the halfway stage in this race. 3 laps completed of the 6 that were due. It's a reduced from 7 to 6 race affair here. There's number 25, Aaron Hans. He is in 10th position. There's 30, James Leatham. He's in 11th. And number 101, Gary Porter, has just crossed the line at half race distance for him in 12th position. So Grant Thompson, 11.3 seconds ahead. A fastest lap of 86.562 leads Moore, with Sale maybe nibbling in to get to second. Let's go to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and see if Dan Sale's made up any more ground later on. But here is Grant Thompson. Very academic is probably the word I'd use. These at half race distance. Been a very professional ride in such poor conditions from the Port St Mary man at the moment. But he still leads. There is number 33, Chris Moore, emerging towards us here. So there is your second place man, number 33, Chris Moore, into Cross Four Ways as we go past half race distance. Number 8, Dan Sale there. Now, if he had made up a little bit of ground, I would say that gap is probably similar to the last time they both came through Cross Four Ways. So Dan Sale still comfortably in third, but I'm not too sure compared to the last lap of Cross Four Ways if he's made up any ground. I do think, however, he's made up a bit of ground on this man on the way through, number 18, Andy Saylor, who's running in fourth. Absolutely no machinery behind him at the moment, so plenty of tarmac for him to go into and keep things nice and steady. Here's number 88, Leon Donaghy, completing the top 5 as it stands. 1, 2, 3 more down into the dip and approaching towards us. Number 122, Israel Gillette. Number 107, Nick Sweet. And back to you, Tim.
Yeah, I think our leader is coming into view. What a job he's doing. 86.589. He's getting quicker and quicker, and that lead is growing and growing. Here is the man in second, 33. Chris Moore crosses the line. Chris Moore, the man from New Mills. There is Dan Sale. So that has come down another second here at the start-finish line that Dan Sale. There's an awful lot of work for him to do, but it has come down by a further second to about 7 seconds. But there's only 2 more laps to go here as number 18 goes through. That's Andy Saylor. He's in 4th position. Dan Sale's put his quickest lap of the race in at 85.174 miles an hour. The quickest lap by Moore was on lap 2 at 84.756. So Sale is definitely getting quicker and quicker as the race goes on. 5th is number 88, Leon Donaghy. 6th is number 122, Israel Gillette. 7th is number 107, Nick Sweet. 8th through and up into 8th now is number 31, Colin Croft. And 9th is number 24, that is Adam Randalls. So just the 9 through here so far. Grant Thompson, 15.612 seconds. It's his advantage over second place Moore. But Dan Sale has put his quickest lap of the race in. 2 together across the line, 25 and 30. That's Hans and Leatham, 10th and 11th for them. Let's go to cross four ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, as I'm wrestling with my umbrella here across four ways, number 44, Grant Thompson arrives there. And that battle in behind as well, Chris Moore and Dan Sale. You mentioned there Dan Sale making up another second there. So maybe just starting to pick up the pace a little bit on that back section, if you like, if you want to call it that, here at the Billown Course, on the way through Great Meadow and Stadium and Church Bends before that. Here's number 33, Chris Moore, arriving into cross four ways yet again with those 2 laps to go. And he has indeed, Tim. I think that relates to what you were saying on the timings. Number 8, Dan Sale, does seem to have just eaten a chunk out of Chris Moore's advantage over him. 2 laps might be a big ask in these conditions to try and close the gap, but he is certainly making it up around the course. They're both on 250 machines, let's just point out as well there. So it's not like there's a huge power difference between the two of them as well. It's all about that acumen in the corners and the course layout. In the meantime, Dan Sale's been opening up that gap again to this man, number 18, Andy Saylor, who's running steadily in 4th across four ways just at the moment as well. And then one more emerging towards us is number 88. To you, Tim.
Yeah, the last lap flag is being readied for the Port St Mary man here. Number 44, Grant Thompson's gone quicker again, 87.455 miles per hour. In these conditions is an exceptional performance. He's obviously feeling comfortable because the lap times have been faster and faster on every occasion. Here's the man in second, 33, Chris Moore. And here's the man in third, and that is Dan Sale. And the gap there between them is, it's less than 4 seconds now between Moore and Sale. So he's got a lot of work to do, Dan Sale. But he can see Chris Moore ahead of him now. And, of course, that is such an incentive when you can see the rider that you're chasing down. So can Dan Sale make that advantage up and get past Chris Moore in this closing lap? There's number 18 in 4th, Andy Saylor. So Thompson is 19.9818 seconds ahead of Chris Moore. Let's look at the lap times between Moore. Chris Moore did his quickest lap there at 85.354 miles per hour, but Dan Sale went even quicker as well at 86.520 miles per hour. 88, Leon Donaghy then confirmed in 5th. 6th is Israel Gillette. 7th is another place is number 31, Colin Croft. 8th is 107, Nick Sweet. And in 9th position of the 9 that have come past us is number 24, Adam Randalls. So Thompson will just be hoping to get this bike now to the finish line. Can he do it? Let's go to cross four ways and Rob Pritchard.
To be knocking on the door of 90-mile-an-hour laps in conditions like this really does say a lot. Grant Thompson, he's impressed at Derby, impressed on his Southern debut. Here he is on cross four ways on this final lap as well, and at meetings elsewhere. Certainly opened plenty of people's eyes when he made his Southern debut here last year. I think it was on his 750, I believe he was as well. Winner of the consolation, the Solo Founders Race as it was known back then as well. I think people have been standing up and noticing. Here's number 33, Chris Moore. Now that gap doesn't seem to have got any bigger to this man, number 8, Dan Sale. So I think it is a very tall order to catch Chris Moore. We just heard from Tim there that Chris Moore put in his quickest lap of the race on that last lap as well. So maybe responding to Dan Sale's pace at the moment. So as it stands, Dan Sale would have to make up a lot of ground on the latter stages of this lap of the Billown Course to try and get anywhere close to Chris Moore there. But that's your top 3 as it stands, well established as it is at the moment as well. And that trio has pulled out a big gap to the rest of them in behind them as well. So just a reminder, Grant Thompson still leading. To you, Tim.
Yeah, it may have come a little bit early. I've just seen a bike cross the bridge now, but it's very difficult to make out the bridge now with the wind rustling the trees and the light is getting gloomier and gloomier. But here he is. It's going to be a local victory for number 44, Grant Thompson. And he 87.455 was the quickest on that last lap, but is Chris Moore going to hang on? Dan Sale do anything about getting into second place? It's not going to be the case, because there's number 33, Chris Moore, and here is number 8 completing the podium, Dan Sale, and the advantage to Moore grew out. He did his quickest lap and the quickest of the race on that last lap at 87.866. He got the hurry up, but Thompson's the winner. Let's get all the reaction from Chris Kinley down at the winner's enclosure.
Chris Moore and Dan Sale come in 2.250s in the top 3 in this Jeff Duke Jr. Superbike, and the winner is the Grant Thompson. Well done, young man. You're going to get some ribbon, aren't you, on Facebook later from all your so-called friends. Well done.
Yeah, it was really good, that, you know. I love the wet weather. It's just great fun, and, you know, when we went off the start there, and to be fair, the first lap or two was a bit horrendous, and down the bomb hole there was a bit wet, but I just enjoyed every single lap. You know, it was great fun, and the little IOM bike storage CBR 600 was on the pipe.
You are an off-road rider originally. Do you think that gives you a bit of advantage? You like the bike moving under a bit, don't you?
Yeah, but it might give me a little bit, but not really a massive amount. I really enjoy riding in the wet. You know, we ride a lot of short circuit over here in the wet, so it's sort of second nature, to be fair. So I can't complain too much. So.
And another win round Billown's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, it's great to get another win round here, and you know, massive thank you to all the team, and especially to Gus Turner. You know, for
behind you.
You know, he supplied me with an absolute weapon of a bike. You know, and I can't thank him enough for, you know, allowing me to ride it.
When you're talking about local circuits, you live about a mile and a half down the road.
Well, let's put it this way: I can go and have a nice warm shower after this.
You certainly can. Well done, Grant. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, well done, you said. Cheers. Well done. Excellent work. And Chris Moore will get him in. Get the bike up onto the podium, please. Let's get that up there. Let's move around the back here. And young Chris, how was that then? God, but she sounds crisp.
I don't think it's as crisp as it was last year.
You just want it crispier than you want it, can't you? But off the line, you could pick the note of your bike up off the line. It was nice. Sounded really crisp. Obviously not as crisp as you like it, but nice.
They're the best sounding bikes here, aren't they? Obviously the four strokes have dominated the race. The race win. He rode very well. There's no way I was going to stay with Grant. No way. Apparently, one of the first things I've got to say though, Tim Glover has said there's two Manxmen on the podium. There's actually three Manxmen on the podium, Tim. I am a Manxman. I'm proud Manxman.
It's more with an E as well, isn't it? So, and you live obviously in England now, but you've got family. You're related to one of our engineers as well, Frodo Beasley, aren't you? So
absolutely, yeah. Frodo. I'm not going to call him Frodo.
Why? You know why I call him Frodo. How was the race though? Did you know Dan Sale was coming?
Listen, I didn't know Dan was there until lap 5. And I looked round and coming out of Cross Four Ways, and I saw a white helmet. I thought that's got to be Dan, and I absolutely sort of rode as hard as I wanted to do on that last 2 laps, really. Well, lap and a half, and I think I actually gapped him. But like Dan's just said, there's a load of standing water.
Whereabouts? Tell us where.
Going into the bomb hole. Yeah. Which is a bit fruity, and these bikes are so light. They were really moving about. It was really quite sketchy. I don't think you could really ride him much worse round here, to be honest.
So this is probably the worst you've ridden around. You've done a few laps around here. It's probably the worst, isn't it?
Absolutely. I don't really do road racing to ride in the wet, if that makes sense. I'm a bit of a mountain course man, but obviously these guys run, and there is enough grip. Don't get me wrong, but when you start getting standing water, it's a bit tricky. But I'm super chuffed. Mick Outhwaite again, top bike. Can't fault it. It's not missed a beat all weekend, really. So yeah, and I'll thank Dale now, Dale Fordham. I don't think we're going to ride tomorrow. I think we're going to sort of quit while we're ahead, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well done, Chris Moore.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Manxman, proud Manxman.
Good man, you sir. Good to see you. Well done. And Daniel, let's get you up onto here. And first of all, I want the story why you're not here in the Sidecar with David. I was looking forward to that.
I know we both were, to be fair. We sort of ran against time, and the way things go. Dave's a busy fella, and we're both as gutted as each other. But yeah,
let's not get run over by Palmer again. Yeah, you're both busy, but again, good run out in the 250. Steady away.
Yeah, just steady away. I went to get going earlier doors, but there's that much standing water kicking around, and I aquaplaned a couple of times, and then I thought, you know what, just calm myself down. And then I seen Chris there, and I thought, shall I have a go or not? And I thought, well, yeah, I'll go for it. And then I had a little bit of a slide, and I thought, you know what, just stick with third. That'll do me today.
Well done, Dan. We'll let you get up on the podium. Thank you, Dan Sales. So there you go. There's the top three in the Jeff Duke Junior Superbikes. Chris Palmer having to do a bit of work here. Good man, he'll know what to do there. So he's got his hands dirty as well for anybody. He doesn't often get his hands dirty unless he falls over. So we do have the Sidecars going to be coming out soon, but we're going to do the Jeff Duke Junior Superbike race, and Peter Duke is here to do the presentation. So Peter, when you're ready, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause to Peter Duke, please. Thanks, folks. Thank you, Pete. Thank you. So be guided by Philip, if you don't mind. In third place, 8, Dan Sale. Well done to Dan. Congratulations. Gets the hat and gets the Forager Vintners Sparkling Wine. In second place, 33, Chris Moore. He's happy. Stay calm, Chris. Stay calm. And the race winner of the Jeff Duke Junior Superbikes, Grant Thompson. He's such a cool dude. Just sat there, just chilling out, nice and relaxed. Well done, Grant. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Sale, Chris Moore, and Grant Thompson. And thank you very much to Peter Duke and the Duke family for sponsoring the Jeff Duke Junior Superbikes. Tim, back to you.
Yeah, and all Manx top three, we stand to be corrected, and we'll give Chris the full Manx treatment there. Chris Moore is in second position there, and he got the fastest lap as well, 87.866, but it was Thompson that took the win, with Sale in third. Fourth was number 18, Andy Saylor. Fifth, number 88, Leon Donaghy. Sixth, number 122, Israel Gillette. Seventh, number 31, Colin Croft. Eighth, number 107, Nick Sweet, the newcomer. A good performance on his debut here at the Motor Isle Billown Course. Ninth, number 24, Adam Randalls. 10th, number 30, James Leatham. 11th, number 25, Aaron Hans. And 12th, number 101, Gary Porter. 13th was number 50, Dave Glover. And 14th was number 78, Dean Radcliffe. Retirements there were number 19, Tim Poole, 48 as well, Michael Bampton, and number 104, Luke Blevins. So 14 finishers, but an all Manx top three. Thompson, Moore and Sale is your top three. Let's move to the sidecars then, our final race of this evening. And changes to the programme on pages 46 and 47. If you're able to put a pen or pencil to a soggy programme and make these changes on such an evening. Non-starters, and we heard the passengers' reaction. Non-starter number 1, Dave Molyneux and Dan Sale. Gutted was how you phrased it. Also number 23, Mike Cookson and Indy de Koppel. And number 46, Andy Nourish and Rob Child. Just gonna check on that one because I'm pretty sure that 46 is on our start list on the 6th row there. So we will just keep an eye on whether they come out or not. But at the front of the start position and pole position is Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker on that Vermeulen Triumph, number 56. Second row is number 21, and these are the newcomers, Sepp Knoll and Kobe de Hoek. They are on the BMW R100 Neela. And also 69 is Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes on their MRE Imp. Greg Lambert Racing. Third row is number 11, and that's Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves. The fourth row is number 24, Tony Thurkel and William Morley. And number 51, and 51 is Cobus Booman and Nikolai Klinker. Then the fifth row is number 30, and that is Kenny Howells and Rob Kopok. The sixth row we do have number 46, Andy Norris and Rob Child listed there, and number 67, and 67 is Alan Warner and Tom Dawkins. The eighth row is number 29, that's Adam Pope and John Christopher. The ninth row is number 9, Eddie Wright and Trevor Johnson. And number 66, and that's Albert Kropfel and Elisa Pilz. And then we have number 64 on the ninth row at the back of the grid. 64 is Juan Christian and Julie Hardesty. And we've said about a very Manx name there in Juan Christian, the newcomer. We'd better check out. He's listed the pair of them from Folkingham, but we've better just check out if he does indeed hail from these shores. So that is the Sidecar lineup. Of course, the course inspections have been taking place ahead of this final race on the opening night of racing, the Saturday evening racing. We've got a further 6 races tomorrow to bring you. Roads will close tomorrow around the Motor Isle Billown Course from 1 p.m. until no later than 6 p.m. The wind may be the bigger issue than the wet stuff tomorrow. Race 5 to bring you tomorrow is the Greystones LLC Senior Classic race over 7 laps. That's due away at 1:20. Race 6 is the Words and Spaces 250cc Classic race and the 125 Post Classic race over 6 laps. That's due away at 2 p.m. Then we have the Vintage Motorcycle Club Isle of Man section 350 Classic race over 7 laps, 2:40 p.m. that is due. Then race A, which is the Fred Pack 400cc post-classic race over 6 laps, 3:20. Race 8 is the ugly post-classic superbikes over 7 laps at 4 o'clock. And then we have race 9 to conclude things, which is the Cheesden Rentals Sidecar race 2, 4 laps at 4:40. But don't forget the prize presentation is being held tomorrow evening in Castletown Market Square. That starts at 7 o'clock, and the club do ask you to just come along, show your support and thanks for all our competitors who, despite the inclement weather, are putting on such a fantastic show for us here down in the south of the Isle of Man. So we've already had wins this evening. Who's going to complete the winners' rostrum? We've had a Manx win with Grant Thompson. We've had Alan Oversby getting ahead of Andy Hornby in a terrific dice. And Will Loader managed to get ahead of Mike Hose. But Barry Davidson took the 250 honours. Will Loader the 350 honours. So we're waiting just to hear of the bikes being brought forward. The machines, the three-wheelers for this MC Locksmith Sidecar Classic race. In the meantime, let's just bring you up to date with a few news stories, and we can tell you that looking ahead, the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company's Southern 100 road races are set to reach a global audience like never before, thanks to a new partnership with King of the Roads, who will stream the 2025 edition of the races to fans around the world. For the first time, all the racing from the Southern 100 on Wednesday the 9th and Thursday the 10th of July will be available to watch at kingoftheroads.tv/live. The coverage is part of a broader broadcast package that's been agreed that also includes the Aberdare Park Road races and the Oliver's Mount Gold Cup. So there's a real opportunity. You will have to pay a little bit of a price, but we'll give you more details on that as we get nearer. But I am hearing that this race for the sidecars has been further reduced as well by a lap. So it's just going to be a 3-lap race now for the sidecars. So that is one to look up and get more details on. The entries, of course, are open for the Southern 100 races. They take place on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. That's 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th of July. And, of course, here at Manx Radio Motorsport, we'll be bringing you live coverage of all the practice and, indeed, the race sessions. And the new generation Supersport bikes will be out for the first time in a change to the regulations for the iconic Motor Isle Billown Course. They are that is another step that's not been made before. It does align, of course, the event with the evolving landscape of international and domestic motorcycle racing, ensuring the class remains competitive, diverse and relevant to manufacturers, teams and fans alike. We'll bring you a lot more on all of that when and if time permits. But now it's time to get our final race underway and head back down again to Chris Kinley.
Right. Anybody got an iron so I can kind of soften and dry my programme out a little bit? Because we do have the sidecars making the way down for the first sidecar race of the event. Of course, another one tomorrow. This is the MC Locksmith Sidecar Classic race number 1. And you heard, obviously, in your programme, you were supposed to have Dave Molyneux and Dan Sale, but they will be a non-starter, which is a bit of a shame. And like Dan said, just ran out of time. Dave being a busy man and all that, making fairings and doing stuff like that. But I have heard the machines have been released from up there. And what they do is they come down the little road here now. And it has actually stopped raining here, to be fair, but it doesn't matter because my feet are wet, even though I've got waterproofs off. The water's running down the back of my legs and into my shoes. It's lovely, it is. But yes, you can just hear in the background, you're probably picking the noise up of the machines as they lead the sidecar paddock. The sidecar paddock has a different area to where the solos are, and they have an area where they get scrutiny in as well, because obviously there's different widths and stuff, and there's that many bikes up there. So the sidecar boys, they're up the top. Boys and girls are up the top of the paddock, and the solo guys are down on the right-hand side. So nobody's moving as of yet. We believe that the safety officer has been round the circuit and had a look around and said it's okay to race. You heard a couple of the riders saying there about there being a fair bit of standing water in various locations on the entrance into the Billown dip. There'll be on the left-hand side, or I'll probably say as you get close to that white wall there. So we don't have any movement as of yet. Yeah, now we do. The gates have been opened up, and that'll mean that the sidecars are going to make their way down. If you've never seen a sidecar race here at Billown, maybe you might be coming back for the July meeting. You're going to be quite entertained, shall we say, because they are fantastic through here. They really are really, really good, and they're sliding into Castletown Corner, into the bridge there, into places like Cross Four Ways, and into the Ballabeg at the hairpin there. It's really, really an entertaining thing to watch, and especially at the Southern 100 with a slightly bigger field. It's, I tell you what, into Ballakagan on the first lap and past us here on the just after the start and finish line, by the exit of the pit lane exit is it's quite frightening, to be fair, when they're at 3 abreast coming towards you. And I think we've seen over the years I've been doing this, 2003, I think it was my first one that I did. So this is 22 years of doing this now. It was the pre-TT that I did on one of my first one, and one of the sidecars, they kind of touched just as they got to the bridge there by where the hospitality is, and being a former marshal around here and marshal TT and stuff, I was on my toes, and we were all the marshals were all shifting ourselves out of the way because we knew what was coming. But fair play to the crews, they kind of sort themselves out and tidied themselves up and got themselves into order again as they went past us. But it was one of those, how shall we say, as Derry Kissick would put it, but I better not put it like that because I'll get into trouble. But yeah, that's just one of those moments that you see down here. Seen some great stuff down here over the years. Really, really good. And this, I'm sure, will be no exception. As we look up now, you can hear the revs starting to rise as the machines are going to roll towards us. And thankfully, the programme has survived itself. And number 69, Greg Lambert and Andy Haynes on the Greg Lambert Racing, the MRE Imp, rolls himself into his grid position. And I've given up on the grid positions. Tim, I'm going to let you do that because my grid has been absolutely destroyed by the rain. and it's unreadable now. So there you go. And Greg is rolling into his position up at the front. Number 30 is Kenny Howells and Rob Kopok on the 750i Aisin Suzuki GT. Good lad is Kenny, been around the sidecar game for a long time. And these guys here, 56, Marvin Vermeulen and Tony Klinker. That is the sound of Kenny Howells, who stops the kettle. The GT right next to us, 51, goes past Cobus Baumann and Nikolai Klinker. Number 11, Danny Quirk, previous winner of course, Sharon Reeves. 66 outfit, BMW outfit, that distinctive sound of the BMW. The 500 Kurth BMW of Albert Kropfel and Elisa Pilz. I believe there's a classic sidecar event up at Assen this weekend as well. And of course it's MotoGP weekend at Silverstone, where they're not expecting too favourable weather. And I think that is just about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 outfits are here so far. 29, Adam Pope and John Christopher. We'll just move forward a little bit because that is very, very loud. That's 66. So 29, Adam Pope and John Christopher, we were talking about there on their Triton Westlake sit-up and beg machine, which is an entertaining watch through the corners. So that's it, folks. The machines, sidecars, are on the motor aisle Billown circuit here at the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT. Let's just hope Kenny Howells can get his machine fired up. You hear the two-stroke fire in, so he can. So the old stager himself, Kenny Howells, as Fred Clark used to call him up there at Ramsey Hairpin, is on the circuit there, the Billown circuit, and making his way up to a damp Ballachagan. It's only 3 laps, being reduced back to from 4 to 3, but they're going to have some fun out there. Who is going to be your winner after 3 tough laps around here? Let's get over to Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, just to echo what you were saying, Chris, about the weather as well. The rain has stopped here as well, but looking down in front of us again at Cross Four Ways, a little bit of standing water on what would be the inside line going into Cross Four Ways as well. That just seems to have pulled a bit, so they'll want to keep an eye on that as they make their way through here on the sighting lap. They'll get a good look at that. It's not as prominent over on that outside line, the more popular one, particularly with the solo machines, but there is some standing water there. But that has been the case for the majority of the session, hasn't it? So they will just get a chance to have a look, observe what's going on. One thing that was pointed out from the last qualifying session as well, and indeed the grid that Tim has announced today, and I think it was Tim who pointed it out yesterday, is that 3 of the 4 competitors, driver or passenger, in the first 2 grid positions are newcomers out there. Of course, starting out at second, Sepp Noel and Kobe de Hoek, we've mentioned them a few times, from Wassenaar and Kulkerke. They are both newcomers, whereas the number 56 outfit, Marvin Vermeulen, driving that. But Troy Klinker is also a newcomer as well. So great to see the Continental riders again here at the Pre-TT Classic. Not just only appearing and being competitive, but excelling in some cases as well. We heard, of course, didn't we, from Dan Sale a few moments ago after the last race, Dave Molyneux not being here, and things just didn't work out, in the words of Dan Sale. They were trying to get things together as best they could, but wasn't to be the case. A reminder that although Dave Molyneux did retire from racing on the Snaefell Mountain Course last year, bringing to an end an absolutely incredible career on the mountain course, he is now the Sidecar Liaison Officer on the Snaefell Mountain Course, so no doubt will be extremely busy over the next 2 weeks, and will have been beforehand as well. He'll be getting those newcomers especially ready to go around the mountain course. Here is your travelling marshal leading the first 2 outfits. There is number 56 Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker, and number 21 Sepp Noel and Kobe de Hoek. So those are your front 2 on the grid. Then number 69 Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes on the way out there. Number 11 Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, maybe just want to keep an eye out for. 24 Thurkel and Morley on the way through, and number 51 as well is Cobus Baumann and Nikolai Klinker. And number 30 there's Kenny Howells and Rob Kopok. And more machines in the distance. Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, remember, winners last year, so something that the likes of Lambert and Haynes and the 2 out front will have to be wary of. 67, 66 time for numbers here, 29 and 64 as well on the way through. 64 we mentioned as well, Julian Christian and Julie Hardesty. We must get Chris Kinley to ask, as the course inspection car goes through, we must get Chris Kinley to ask if there are indeed any Manx connections with a name like Julian Christian as well. So those are your sidecar outfits through for, as has been mentioned, this shortened 3-lap race. It's incredible, really, isn't it, that all these solo and sidecar outfits have been able to brave the conditions today. Credit to the organisers as well, that despite what Mother Nature's been throwing at us, we've been able to get some racing today. 3 laps to come from this first Sidecar Classic race. Will it be the newcomers that shine in this particular 3-lap shootout? Or will we see the likes of the experienced, the Lambert and Hayneses of the world, the Quirks and Reeves start to excel this time around? Over to you, Tim.
Yep, it's going to be very, very interesting indeed as the bright lights, I think for once the sidecars have got the slightly better of the conditions at the tail end of the evening, because the rain seems to have backed away completely and the roads are not as wet. Not as really wet as they were. They are wet, don't get me wrong, but they are not really wet like they were previously. So there is outfit number 6, Vermeulen and Clinker, on the front row of the grid. Number 21, Noel and De Hoek, just being pushed back and making sure they're in their correct position on the grid. The newcomers, they just came a little bit further forward. We're looking to see if 69... Lambert and Haynes are going to come through onto their position on the grid. I think they are, and they're just having a couple of words with the marshals. There's number 11, that's Quirk and Reeves, just having a look as well at their position. Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves on that Bellis Vincent. Fine bit of kit there, and we're just looking to see, I can't see behind them. 24 should be there. I can't quite read the number, but I'm wondering if number 46, Nourish and Child, may well be a non-starter. There does appear to be a bit of a gap there, so I can confirm that 46, Nourish and Child are non-starters. Looking to the back of the grid to hopefully see very soon the green flag being waved. Just a couple of the passengers out of their outfits, and they get back in. Just checking that everyone's okay at the back of the grid. It's quite a long hold this, and another passenger just getting back in at the back there. They've been held for some time here, so engage gears now. Watch the lights, watch the lights, watch the lights. Again, the long hold, and away we go, and it is 56 that gets a pretty good start here. Let's go to Chris Kinley.
Wow, the spray starts to rise. Who has got the start on here? It's eyes front only on this one. It's 56, 69, 21, 51, 24, 11, 67, 29 and 64. But a great start by number 56, Vermeulen and Clinker.
Indeed it is, and I think we've got a non-starter here, and they're at the moment just stranded out on the course, and they're trying to get the machine reversed now into the area in front of us here at race headquarters, and I think they've just safely managed that now. And it is outfit number 30 that has not got away. Of course, that's Kenny Howells and Rob Kopek. So the Ayerson Suzuki playing up there. And, well, you can just see the disappointment in the crew there as the passenger just slumps back down onto the tray there. And, well, just having a few words with each other about what bad luck they've just had out there, and I think it is Kenny there, but oh dear, major disappointment for them. But what a start it was. Off the line, Vermeulen and Clinker. Are we going to see those newcomers, the continental newcomers, to the fore as we get deep into this? But fair credit, remember, this is a 3-lap affair now. But number 30 won't be taking part, and neither is number 46, Nourish and Child. Let's go to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, you mentioned number 46, Andy Nourish and Rob Child. They weren't on the sighting lap either themselves, so I think that kind of confirmed our suspicions before we were able to confirm it 100%. Looking on the entry, a little bit further down from where we are, there is a lack of adhesion flag out in that dip coming down towards us as well, just warning of the conditions. Of course, we do have that standing water in and around here. We can hear those sidecars making their way towards us here. Who's out in front at the moment? First leading through cross four ways is number 69, Lambert and Haynes, and then it's Vermeulen and Klinker, then Noel and De Hook as well. So that big trio in there together. Thurkel and Morley a couple of seconds back here, but that trio really close together through cross four ways. There's virtually nothing between them, but it's Lambert and Haynes leading through cross four ways for the first time. Some way back here is Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, the number 11 outfit. They're some way off the pace of the crews in front at the moment. 3 more interview in front of us. Here's number 67. That is Warner and Dawkins, followed by Pope and Christopher on the Sitter Beg. And then the 64 of Jew and Christian and Julie Hardesty, another newcomer pairing on the way through. And then it's the Austrian duo, Albert Grunfel and the newcomer passenger Eliza Piltz, through cross four ways for the first time in this opening race. So a little bit of a change. Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes have clearly had a good run after starting third on the grid. They're up to first at cross four ways, but my oh my have they got company. Marvin Vermeulen right on the tail, as was Seth Noel in the number 21 outfit, as the travelling marshals make their way through as well. So it's already a great battle on the opening lap between those as they make their way through Church Bends, that convoy up through the meadow and through Stadium, and then they'll be heading out onto the second lap. To you, Tim.
Yeah, to have seen the first outfit onto the bridge. Difficult to see if there were 1 or 2. In fact, there's 3 have emerged here, and the front 2 are so close together. 21 and 56 like that. 0.142 of a second between them. There's the man in third, and that is Tony Thurkel and William Morley. So it is the newcomers, number 21, Seth Noel and Kobe De Hook, that lead ahead of number 56, Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker. Good effort in 24 is in third, and 24 that is Tony Thurkel and William Morley. And then number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, the winners a year ago, are in fourth. 0.142. There is Alan Warner, number 67, with Tom Dawkins, and then the Sitter Beg, as described by Rob, of number 29, Adam Pope and John Christopher. And that marvellous looking 740 Triton Westlake. 69 is out, we're hearing, and there's another one pulled into almost a sidecar paddock we're forming here at the start-finish line. So 69 is out as well, and that is, of course, Greg Lambert. And yep, oh dear. So there's plenty of chat going on down there, but what a race we've got at the sharp end. And number 21 leads 56 by 0.142 of a second, and then it's a further gap of around about 5.2 or 5.15 seconds back to the outfit 24 of Tony Thurkel and William Morley. But the Continental newcomers are dominating in the early stages here. Third distance already done. Let's go back to cross four ways and Rob Pritchard.
We await the race leaders to make their way towards a shame for Lambert and Haynes, as we heard there, just a retirement. And here is Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker. They've opened up a bit of a gap here as well to number 21, Seth Noel and Kobe De Hook. So it is very much advantage for Vermeulen and Klinker through cross four ways on the second lap from Noel and De Hook. They've opened up a big gap in turn to the number 24 out here, Tony Thurkel and William Morley on the MRE BMW. So that makes up your top 3 through cross four ways as it stands. I did notice actually with that Lambert and Haynes outfit on the way through on the sighting lap as well, possibly at the very least a fairing change from what they'd had in qualifying, which can be for a number of reasons, but also could there have been wholesale changes underneath mechanically? We just don't know. Either way, they are unfortunately not taking any further part in this race. There's number 11 and Sharon Reeves on that the Bellas Vincent, the 1300. But what a battle we've got going on at the front. But, like I say, Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker just opening up a little bit of a gap to number 21, Seth Noel and Kobe De Hook. Then it's Tony Thurkel and William Morley a few seconds further back, making up the top 3. As we can see more sidecar outfits making their way towards us. It's number 67 outfit of Warner and Dawkins. To you, Tim.
Yep, machine spotted on the bridge as we look up to School Hill Rise, and here comes the race leader now. And it is 56 is Vermeulen ahead of 21. So 56 Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker have established a 2-second advantage now over number 21 Seth Noel and Kobe De Hook. 24 across the line in third. That's Tony Thurkel and William Morley on the MRE BMW. They are in third, and they are around about 13.4 seconds down on the outfit in second place, who are the newcomers. So we just those three do seem to have made some considerable advantage over the rest of the field. Here's the machine in fourth. It is number 11 outfit, and that's Danny Quirk and Sharon Rees. But quickest lap so far is outfit 56, and that is, of course, 56 Vermeulen and Klinker, 77.393 miles per hour. They are, of course, out now on their last lap. This is the last lap, as more machinery can be seen coming over the railway bridge and around Castletown corner. See it coming over the hill here and into our view, and we'll just give you the numbers. And that is 67, and there's that sit up and beg 29 of Adam Pope and John Christopher. 66 it was that crossed the line. Then, of course, is Albert Crawfler and Elisa Pills. 64 has just gone across as well, and that is Dewan Christian and Julie Hardesty. But it's Vermeulen that leads here. Vermeulen and Klinker have the advantage. Let's go on the last lap here to Rob Pritchard and Cross Four Ways.
Mentioned that Vermeulen and Klinker had just opened up a little bit of a gap the last time they came through Cross Four Ways, and here they are again, Vermeulen and Klinker, and they do seem to have opened up the taps a little bit more. That gap's definitely got a little bit wider. Vermeulen and Klinker into Cross Four Ways. A couple of seconds back here, number 21 Seth Noel and Kobe to hook here, so it remains Vermeulen and Klinker, advantage to them in the latter stages of this final lap here. It does look like that gap has opened out just a little bit more, and wider. The duo out front have opened up a little bit of a gap here to number 24 Tony Thurkel and William Morley, going steadily in third here at the moment, completely clear of the machines in behind them as well, not threatening the front two at the moment, going steadily in third. So as it stands at the moment, Thurkel and Morley on course for a podium as it is, but that gap really has started to spread out to the field further behind. I do actually remember you did mention them just before those two crews, Tim, the likes of Alan Warner and Tom Dawkins and Adam Pope and John Christopher. That seemed like a right ding-dong battle that was going on here at Cross Four Ways, virtually nothing to choose between them. Another Sidecar machine emerges through the gloom towards us across Four Ways. It's the number 11 outfit of Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves here, running in fourth and some considerable distance at the moment behind Thurkel and Morley, as we've mentioned here. So that's four Sidecar outfits across Four Ways on this final lap. To you, Tim.
Yep, just looking up to the top of School Hill Rise, and here comes our winning outfit. A great victory, a continental victory it is, a wave as well from the winners, Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker, and in second place, newcomers, Sep Noel and Kobe de Hook. Brilliant performance, so there will be European celebrations in the paddock tonight for the sidecars, and this should be our outfit in third. Passenger waving away the hand in the air. 24 it is in third. That's Tony Thurkel and William Morley. Let's go to Chris Kinley.
Happy guys down here. It really is. Dickie Gale was just saying there's three newcomers on the podium there, but Marvin Vermeulen and Tony Klinker, they got themselves onto the top step, and well done to 21. Also well done to Mike Cookson as well. A lot of experience in there with William Morley in there too. There you go. Big thumbs up. Let's get to Marvin if we can. Goodness me, it's gone cold, isn't it? Marvin, come on over. Come on over. Where would you rather be, Assen or the Isle of Man?
Oh, over here the weather is a bit less, but it's very nice to be in.
A winner on the Isle of Man. How does that feel?
Very good.
Happy?
Yeah, of course.
Take your helmet off so we can speak to you as well. Tony, you happy? You okay? Is he okay? We'll grab him in a minute if we can. Let's get the lid on. There we go. That's better. Here he is. They want photographs. See, they all want you guys. So talk us through the race. You had a good start with these guys.
Yeah, they went very good. Yeah, the start went very good.
Your start was fantastic.
Yeah, surprisingly good in the wet.
And you built this bike all yourself?
No.
Tell us a story behind your bike.
We started to race this bike in 2014, and then when I was a passenger, for my uncle, and he had a bike built. He passed away, and now we race the bike.
And happy to win on the island.
Yes, indeed.
Good man, well done. And passenger, happy? You okay? Is English okay? Yeah. Happy, good?
Yeah, very happy.
It's hard.
Yeah, but it's good.
It's good. And will it be a celebration tomorrow night?
Maybe tonight.
Racing tomorrow, boys. Well done, guys. Well done. Let's get to our second place crew. My paperwork is destroyed. There's Sep Noel, guys, and look at me. Wow. Come on, guys, talk us through that. Tell us your experience of the Alaman and how much fun is the Alaman. Is your English okay?
Yeah, English is okay.
Oh, good. My Belgian's no good, so we're all right, boys. Happy enough?
Yeah. It was a fun race without any weird experiences, so the track is amazing. We'll hope for some dry weather tomorrow.
What about a race with him at the start? You two, wow.
Yeah, it was a couple of times switching positions, but then in the end, it's wet, so
slippy.
It was fun. It was quite slippy, yeah.
But good to be here on the Isle of Man on the podium, eh?
Great experience for the first time being here. So
well done, guys. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Well done, guys. Enjoying dry tomorrow. Yes. Fingers crossed. Cheers. And in third place, we'll just get him in if we can. Now then, Toe, how are you? Cold!
No, I've just got warmed up, man.
Just got warm. You'll do another 6 laps now, don't you?
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I'm old enough to be these lads' granddad.
But you're still doing it, aren't you?
I know. Well, you've got to keep coming back, man. William, keep coming and having a play, and, you know.
William, come on over, Will. Come on over. Talk us through the race. Bit lonely, I suppose.
Yeah, it was a bit lonely. We kept him in sight for a bit, and then he had a massive broadside somewhere. I can't remember where it was, but it was right, like...
Can you remember it, Will?
I can't actually.
We were coming out of stadium, wasn't it, or somewhere?
Around there.
It was like, well, which is away here. But anyway, she gripped and we carried on.
Just after church it was.
And then, I'm not being awful, but Greg with his hand at what best sight I've ever seen.
Oh, hey, you won. Listen, you've been there. You've been in that position lots of times.
I have, yeah. Been there, been on podium position and brought down. It's not good.
It's not. But the Isle of Man, being on the podium again, back here's grand, isn't it?
Well, fantastic. I would like to say that all their combined ages, first and second, doesn't add up to our age. I just think, come on, we're doing well. Both retired.
Guys, well done. Brilliant stuff. Good to see you back in the podium. Good to see you here again. Now let's hope for better tomorrow, eh?
Yeah, that'll do. That's all. A bit better weather and we'll go out and give it hell.
Good man. Good. Cheers, boys. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Well done. Thank you very much. So there we go. The top 3 in the MC Locksmith Sidecar Classic Race. Just waiting for the 3 wheeling guys just to do their interviews, Tim. So you just tidy it up for me there and come back when we're ready.
Okay, thanks very much, Chris. Yes, 4th place, I can tell you, was number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves. In 5th place, it's number 67, and that is Alan Warner and Tom Dawkins. 6th place for number 29, Adam Pope and John Christopher. 7th place is number 66, Albert Krofel and Elisa Pills. And in 8th place, the final finisher, number 64. 64, of course, being Juan Christian and Julie Hardesty. So one thing to really note from that is a lot of the newcomers have got their finishers. And it was great to see that Juan Christian and Julie Hardesty, who were the last to finish here, the Folkingham pair, they both gave a big fist pump as they crossed the line, just taking the checkered flag. That was their own victory in itself. Let's go back to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, you were talking about Juan Christian there, Tim. Now, I'm thinking he is the son of Dennis Christian, who used to race many years and years ago. I think that's what it is, from Peel. So he's originally a Peelite, so he's a Govig, but that's all right. We'll let him off that anyway. That's a local term anyway. So there you go. So that's what I'm hearing anyway. So that's what I think that's pretty much what it is. I can hear an outfit. Is that Kenny Howell's got going, is it?
Yeah, we just had the ones that were here, Greg Lambert and, of course, Kenny Howells. They've just gone across the... they've broken the beam here on the start-finish line. That's registered at times. I'm not going to embarrass them by giving the slowness of them, but they are just getting their machines back towards you and into the paddock.
Yeah, they're back in here. Well, Kenny Howells is anyway. So here we go, folks. This is the podium for the MC Locksmith Sidecar Classic Race. And thank you very much to MC Locksmiths once again for presenting the awards. Ladies and gentlemen, in third position, number 24, Tony Thurkle and William Morley. Well done, guys. Well done, To. Another podium round the Motor Isle Billown circuit for Tony and William. In second place, newcomers number 21, Sepp Noel and Kobe de Voog. Well done, Sepp and Kobe. Congratulations to them. And a win around the 4.25 mile Billown circuit for 56, Marvin Vermeulen and Toy Clinker. Happy, happy chaps. Well done, guys. Get a handshake from our sponsors, MC Locksmiths. And gets the red cap on, and the Southern Hunter red cap is treasured by so many people who've won those. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, your top three: 24, Tony Thurkle and William Morley. Second for 21, Sepp Noel and Kobe de Hook. And your race winners, Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Clinker. So there's your top three, and thank you very much to the guys from MC Locksmiths. Tim, back to you.
Thank you very much, Chris, and a new programme required again, I would imagine, for tomorrow afternoon. Thanks for all your work in horrible conditions to bring us superb commentary, and the same, of course, to Rob Pritchard out there at Cross Four Ways. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed that racing, despite the conditions. At least we've stayed dry in the commentary box. We are very lucky indeed in that respect, but we've had a treat, I believe, to see these boys out there. We've had a lot of praise for the officials and everyone else, but a final word has to go to the Orange Army and all the marshals and the medics that bring this meeting, allow it to happen, and have got soaking wet to give us the privilege of watching and listening to some superb racing. So the MSPR Singles Classic race, the 350 was won by Will Loader and the 250 singles by Barry Davidson. In the Foraging Vintners 1100cc Classic race, the win went, a very good affair it was between Oversby and Hornby, but Alan Oversby took the honours in the end. Then we had a dominant performance from Port St Mary's Grant Thompson to take the honours in the Jeff Duke Junior Superbike, and then we've seen some continental joy in the MC Locksmith Sidecar Classic Race 1, and the winner's gone to Vermeulen and Clinker. We've got 6 more races tomorrow to bring you. Race 5 is the Greystones LLC Senior Classic Race. We've got the Words and Spaces 250cc Classic Race and 125 Post Classic Race. We've got Race 7, the Vintage MCC Isle of Man Section 350 Classic Race. Race A is the Fred Peck 400cc Post Classic Race. We've got Race 8, the Urgley Post Classic Superbikes, 7 laps there, that's due away at 4. And Race 9 is the Cheesden Rental Sidecar Race 2. Now, roads closed tomorrow at 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, and will reopen no later than 6 p.m. They are going to do, I believe, the recovery of machinery that's out there on the Motor Isle Billown Course before the roads open car will be through, so it gives them a chance to get everyone clear. They have got till 9 o'clock for the roads to remain open, so don't forget that the roads do remain closed until that roads open car has gone past your position and the marshals allow you to come onto the course in your car or along the pavements. But until then, until that roads open car has gone through, do not come onto the course. Well, with thanks to everybody involved, I will hand this back now for this evening. Back to Broadcasting House.